What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the dump. We're starting it a little different today. Fat Steven is having a live stream right now, and it's to help a friend of his rebuild their tattoo parlor that was destroyed by flooding in Kentucky. So we're sharing right now the link to help her out. I'm going to share a video real quick of what this person has been going through, but this is the GoFundMe. This is the link Makani put in the chat. Please share it out, guys. If you're watching this at a later date, just if you can't support it by financially, support it by sharing it out and getting eyes on this, please, guys. But I'm going to let you guys take a look at this real quick. It is, it's really sad, you know, somebody's life work and having to realize it's all gone. So, and I did not share the, probably would have been good if I shared the audio. So I'm a boomer. Sorry, trying to be a good person. Never works. All right, here we go. Hold on. Let's get to this here. Boom. And here we go.
Not so good right now.
I don't know what you're going to do.
That was the shot that I was going to rinse. Woo!
She's trying to hold it together.
I bet they're the one that busted out my light, my window.
It's just, it's sad. This is in Kentucky, Keely. The Kentucky River.
When you go through menopause,
overflowed.
you don't need a jacket.
And she's still cracking jokes.
Johnny,
And that's why I
Ann.
wanted to share this. Everybody in her town lost everything. And I just wanted to show a little bit of it, guys. So if you can, please, once again, we shared out the link. It's in the chat. Please help out rebuild Red River Tattoo in Kentucky. Friends of friends. That's how we do this. We help each other out. We take care of one another because that's what friendship and fandom are for. So that's the sad stuff. Let's start the show the old school way. Let's do it. Ba-doop-a-doo! Chickawan, chickawan. Culture Casino has one win.
Propaganda.
It's not propaganda, it's the truth. Which one's the... Oh, once again. Every time.
It's hilarious.
It's my favorite. Here we go.
I still think this is a sick beat.
It is.
It's a great beat. It's my favorite. I'm so glad this is my beat for my show. I feel kind of cool when it starts.
You should do a rap for it.
Yeah, that's never going to happen, Jane. If I get to 5,000 subs, I'll do a rap for it. Here we go. It sounds like it's kind of messing up on my end, but it's weird. Here we go, people. This is the dump. It is Saturday night. We are live. Thank you for sitting through and thank you for supporting, if you can, that fundraiser. How is everybody doing tonight? We got a lot to talk about tonight. We're going to be talking Game of Thrones 10-year anniversary. No one gives a shit. We're going to be talking about Drunk 3PO, his Teespring being yanked down. We do give a crap about that. We're talking about black female Captain America that checks boxes and all that good stuff. We're going to be talking maybe CBS, a little CBS news that Culture Casino shared with me. Bill Maher and Sharon Osbourne going against cancel culture. That to me is just the world is coming to an end, or at least cancel culture, hopefully. But let me introduce my guest first. Right next to me, the lovely Jayne Theory is in the house. How are you, Jayne?
Hey, I am fantastic. Very happy to be here. How are you?
And I am good. Thank you for being here. And we have a guest tonight, coming all the way from somewhere down south, Mad Mardigan, MBE. What is the MBE, Mad Mardigan?
Mad Barber Entertainment is the channel.
Oh, nice. Well, let them know everything about it. Tell them a little bit in your favorite color. Tell them your favorite color.
Favorite color is pink. No, not for that reason. I actually do like pink.
Okay.
Doesn't look good on camera though, so I don't wear it. What do? We do Street Smarts twice a week. It's gonna be on Wednesday for a while. Wednesday at 3 p.m. Central, we do, and Saturday at 3 p.m. Central, we do Street Smarts. Culture is a part of MBE and is also a part of Street Smarts. We watch like old after school specials for the most part.
Oh, that's
today,
awesome.
Today was a great one. It was so bad.
That is awesome.
And, we also do we started a new show called Tibolo, the best last opinion. It's the 257th panel show. We're a little late on some topics. In fact, I think this Game of Thrones thing is our fault because we actually covered it on our pilot episode. Yeah.
Take credit for that, brother. I like that.
Yeah, that was kind of our fault. We were talking about how excited we were for season 8. We're like, man, we can't wait to see it. And that in The Last Jedi, we watched the first trailer release for The Last Jedi, and we're super excited to see what happened next.
Oh my God, man. I can't even talk to you right now. It is your fault.
It was incredible. It was the best pilot episode of anything I've ever piloted before.
That's fantastic. Well, I'm glad to have you here.
Good to be here.
Guys, please support his channel. What's your sub count, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, like 235, dude. Like,
oh, come on. Let's at least get him to like 275 if we can in the next week. 300 would be nice, actually. So that is what we're going to do. We're going to try to get Mad Mardigan at 300. At least about 250 to 300 people watch this show because I'm not that exciting and famous. But if you are not supporting him, support him now because that's how we roll in this. Pay it forward. So we'll get you going, man. We'll try to get you to 300 this week.
Sure.
And somebody else working on trying to make 1,000 is the great Makini. What are you working on there, Mak?
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to you all. Name is Michail Woolf, artist and illustrator. Welcome to the Saturday Humpty Dump with my boy Sporking News podcast. I'm here today. Happy to be here with my boys here. Anyway, and of course the lovely Jayne Theory as always.
Yeah.
What I was doing some character work. Doing some character work on the last stream.
Those are characters.
I got some ideas in my head.
I like the Carano shirt.
Yeah,
it's hot.
You notice
that is hot. We'll be coming back to you throughout the stream to look at those ladies. Thank you, brother. I'm at 523. I've been flip-flopping back and forth between 524 and 525. If we can just get me out of that. Yes.
And see if I can get to like 530 at the very least tonight. That'd be greatly appreciated.
We're trying, brother. That is the YouTube gods and how they treat us all. I've been at
the game.
I've hit 1,400 7 times now. So I'm really proud of that. But we have the beautiful and looks like about to get drunk Culture Casino. Oh, it's not.
That's for later.
Okay. All right. That's for the boss.
Maybe. Look, guys, I just want to say thank you for being here tonight. This should be a lot of fun. There's a lot of subjects that might make the vein in my forehead pop out. So that usually means it'll be a good show. Be sure to help out some of the amazing creators that we have on the Rogue Entertainment programs, including, of course, Makini 90 and our special guest today, Mad Mardigan, who, like I said, I have a lot of fun hanging out with him, and we already had, I think, 100 views on our Street Smarts video for the day, so that's pretty cool.
Fantastic, man! You guys are really working it.
Well, the thing is that you know what, Matt, you're gonna have to tell the story about how you got like double struck, like because it's bad.
Really?
Oh, yeah, I had 2 strikes.
Nice, good for you, buddy. I like to hear that.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Well, you deserved it probably, and I'm proud of you for that.
It was because the name Street Smarts is very similar to a show on the WB called Street Smarts that aired from 2000 to 2005 at 3 a.m. in the morning on the WB.
Are you kidding me? That is awesome. The WB came after you.
Yeah.
Freaking Warner Brothers. I got to say this first off. I don't know why StreamYards will not allow me to go up and show it, but according to Christy, gave me a 99-cent poop emoji. Thank you, according to Christy. I love her. I miss her. I'd rather have her on the panel with us than, she doesn't have to do that. She rocks. She is one of the best. And that's what I meant to say last week. It might not have come out that way, but that's what I meant. Like, I'd rather have you here. We love you and miss you, and you are the best. We also have Storyman Jack up in the house. We have the
Thanks,
Time
Stormy.
Prophet. Yeah, he's a great Mr. Tickle Trunk is here. This is like Stephen Walton's chat, but it smells nicer. Aw.
It does. And
Orville.
there's not that weird combination of coffee and other fragrances.
Yeah, like bark. Orville Nation up in the house, one of the best guys. He's on his way to 7K, guys. We started at the same exact time. I don't know what he did better than me.
Well, he has a great voice and oftentimes celebrities and
he's nice.
He's very nice. He's got great content to cover. I have had the great privilege of hanging out with him from time to time, and he's just awesome. And he's a huge supporter of the community as a whole. So you gotta love PJ at Orville Nation.
PJ's one of the best. One of the best. We got Runner. He is not, but support Runner because we love him anyways. And he's 18 now. So at some point, I promise you, Runner, you will be on this show. Tina Bojan, good evening, my friend. I love you. How are you? Shane Nolan, one of my biggest supporters. Night, everyone can't stage. That sucks. Just wishing all a good stream. I'll catch up in the morning, and he will. He'll watch the whole thing because he rocks. Keely Chow, hey, everybody. And what's going on? Every time. Love it.
Dude, and Tommy's in the chat. Say hi to Tommy. The guinea pig.
Tommy, why aren't you on?
Hey, Tommy.
Riff Did I not give it to Tommy? Oh, crap. Riff Mangoes. Boomer. Hey, well, you look good for 59. Is he talking about me or you?
Yes, you do. Yeah, because I don't look my age.
I'm 45.
Chicks still think I'm in my 30s.
They're lying to you.
No, look at me.
I look at you a lot.
No.
You're lovely.
I'm beautiful. I don't have wrinkles. I barely have gray hair, except for my beard. And, if I shave, I look like a little cherub angel. So.
Oh, Fat Steven, you didn't have to say thank you. Help out. We always help out. Soul Asylum. Soul Assassin. I always call him Soul Asylum because I think of like runaway.
Because you're learning impaired.
Yeah. Well, I am actually. Thanks. Deviant Pork. I call him Palanuki. He is up in the house. Michael T. High Desert Comics. I don't think I've seen that in my chat before. So hail nerds.
Michael's a good dude.
Michael T. Michael's
awesome. A good dude.
Yeah, I hang out with him. Mockany hangs out with him. He's a good dude.
Oh, welcome,
I hang
Michael.
out with him and Rosetta and Richard. So
that's awesome. I'm just happy to have somebody new in the chat. That's right. That's great. And we have Keck 44. I'm going really slow. We got Tommy. Who else do we have up in here? Anybody that I'm missing right now? Missing. Larry.
There's Nick.
Yeah, Larry.
There's Nick.
Where's Nick? Nick Cookies. Hey, Nick. I know that your wife might be busy, but if you want to jump on, just let us know, and one of the guys will throw you a link.
You're trying to take him away from Elaine.
Elaine can jump on too. I always invite her, but Saturdays are hard for them, and this is like the worst time. But Nick, if you're not, you're gonna jump on. All right, guys, we are going.
Don't they usually go to the dance club Saturday nights? Isn't that why it's?
I think it's the sock hop. What are you talking about?
The dance club. What is this? What?
Did you just hear that?
He lives in a different era.
Hey guys, do they go to the discotheque? People think I look like I'm 30.
Could it go to the speakeasy?
Speakeasy's still a thing.
Rick Margos, hi Fat Steven, hey Runner. I'm tired of typing to everybody. Hi everybody, I love you all, and F Scott, you're a hole.
Okay. I love you, buddy.
All right, hang on.
Well, go ahead, Mockany.
Does anybody? I don't know if he said Nick said he's open. I don't follow him on Twitter though, so I don't know if we can. I'll try sending the link.
I got him. You guys talk about Game of Thrones. What do you think?
The book's never going to get done. George is never going to finish the books.
Ouch. Jesus.
Winter isn't coming. The dream is over.
Winter isn't even breathing hard right now. So, and there's no need for a towel probably, or the napkins or whatnot to clean up later. So I'm just saying.
Wow, Jayne, what do you think about that? Before you respond, Nick, I sent it to your own DM chat. Go ahead. What do you think?
I think it's incredibly sad that people have just, after everything that's happened, we just hate the show. Don't want to be reminded of it. Don't want to see it. We just want the books. That's it. That's all that's left.
Well, and that's true, right? That's all I care about. I put on Twitter today, it was, one of the greatest disappointments in TV history. I think we could agree on that.
Yeah.
The last season was so bad.
Yeah. And well, we could thank Mad Mardigan for that. So what do you think?
Yeah, some of that's my fault. At least this like winter's coming, guys. I knew you still liked us. That whole like feel to it. It's very needy, you know what I mean?
Right.
Very thirsty. Because like if you look at The Last Jedi, how long have we been we've been talking about the movie almost nonstop since this came out. You know what I mean? But both in a negative and positive way, right?
Yeah.
But Game of Thrones, though, when it ended, it wasn't woke enough to have those battle lines or like that drama behind it, like what The Last Jedi has, right? It just ended and everyone was so disappointed. Nobody wants to even mention it. And they're just out there just like, guys, winter is coming. We're still here. You know what I mean? And like none of the spinoffs have came out yet. So there's just nothing about it that is worth speaking about.
Yeah. Welcome Nick Cookies to the show. What's up, Nick?
Hey, thanks for having me.
This is an honor, man. I love having you on.
Thanks. I appreciate it. I'm not too big into Game of Thrones. I've never seen it or read it, but I know that you are the expert, so I'm excited to hear about it.
Well, Jayne knows as much, you know. It's one of those stories that even though the guy wrote in my comments, like, you don't remember a name, it really changed your life. But it does. I have problems retaining names. But the book itself, like I dissect it. I think I'm on my third reading of the series. And I like what Storyman Jack says here. I am continually amazed that Scott is surprised when people say he isn't going to finish it. The man is an obese 72-year-old who just signed a 5-year deal to create new stuff. Out with the old.
But he could finish it. That's the thing. It's not that he can't do it. He could easily finish it. He's just not. He's not trying. No, that's the problem.
I think season 8 killed any motivation he had to write it too. Same thing happened with all of us. He's just like, I'm kind of over it now. Forget it.
You know what? To follow up on Matt's point, there was a lot there that the woke crowd could have used. But even they're disappointed. Like, they could have went the ableist route with Bran becoming king. Like, you hear discussions about that. But it's like, no one cares.
No.
Everyone was so hurt, so disappointed that it's almost like a social contract to forget it existed.
Well,
that's where we are.
That's such a valid look. Literally, I mean, it is not trending at all on Twitter. That tells you the 10th anniversary. I mean, Mad, you said it perfectly, man. Like, we have been talking about The Last Jedi. We've been talking about Ghostbusters 2016. You know, like, we've been talking about shit for years. And Game of Thrones, which had a solid 4 seasons, a crappy 5th, a pretty good 6th, and then 7th and 8th were garbage in my mind. But that 8th season where everybody else was holding on, like, I love this show, it destroyed the legacy of this show. And it just blows my mind that people didn't even want to diss it. They just didn't care.
That's when you lost it. If nobody even bothers insulting you on Twitter, then you're bad. Yeah, you're nothing. So a smart idea would be to cover it. And that's what I'm going to do. Game of Thrones turns 10. What happened to the world's biggest TV show? ? George R.R. Martin and HBO have novels and prequel. Okay. George R.R. Martin has novels and HBO has prequels on the way, but Calamitous season 8. Yeah, I got that word right. Final may have killed off the saga. This is by Richard Trenholm and he is from CNET. All right, Richard, what do you got to say? Remember Game of Thrones, that niche little show that reached 44 million people across 8 seasons. It began exactly 10 years ago, Saturday, but HBO and author George R.R. Martin hopes forthcoming prequels and novels will reclaim GOT's pop culture throne. Quick question. Do you think it will?
Where am I?
Oh God. That's Fat Steven. How are you, man?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm great. My question is this: will the forthcoming prequels and hopefully novels reclaim any of the any of the Game of Thrones pop culture? Why are you here to hurt me?
I'm not here to hurt you.
But what do you think?
Well, is he still trying to get that other book that he keeps talking about out, but he's thinking about all these prequels and weird shows and stuff?
Yeah.
Dude.
How many roads is this man on?
He's on quite a few.
He's on one railroad track hiding in a train. Isn't that right?
He's in the woods. He's in
so
the
he's
woods.
with Walton in the woods? So nobody's not getting shit done.
Walton is Misery, and he's in the woods with him. And has him trapped. Yes.
There's no chance. Honestly, he should stick with the book he promised fans and then go on with the prequels and other stuff because no one's caring because they want the other book.
Yeah. Well, let's put it this way. Except Winter came and went, and it may not be coming back. Based on Martin's already best-selling fantasy novel series, A Song of Ice and Fire, the Game of Thrones TV show began on HBO April 17th, 2011. Happy anniversary. No one could have predicted the show's utterly seismic. Thank you. Cultural impact. Even if you didn't watch the show, you knew winter was coming and weddings were red. Even if you knew nothing, you knew Jon Snow. I saw what he did there. Game of Thrones. Like yeah, me either. Game of Thrones proved that even in the age of streaming and constant YouTube and social media distractions, TV could still enrapture a mass audience. The final episode had 13 million viewers tuned into HBO, and more than 44 million people in 173 countries watched each installment by the end of season 8. For 8 glorious seasons, GOT showed that appointment viewing still existed. The show won 59 Emmys among hundreds of award nominations and came to define this fragmented era of television and media. Then it all went wrong.
I still haven't seen season 8, and I refuse to.
Really?
It's right there with Rise of Wolfwalker. I will not touch it.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I don't like the way he wrapped up everything together and then said things went wrong.
Right.
As if, like, it wasn't, directly because of 7 and 8.
Yeah, go ahead.
What's Scott?
Sorry.
No. Whoever. Nick, what were you going to say?
It wasn't me. It was someone else.
Okay, somebody else.
I think that was me. Sorry.
Okay, then. Oh, go right. Great.
Well, Scott, you're the one who's the biggest simp here for George R. R. Martin and all his books and stuff. After watching season 8, do you even have the inkling to see anything else that he'll half-ass finished and never give it to you?
Oh, okay. The truth. It took me a while after season 8 to want to even look at the books. But once I got back into the books with Jayne and Stig Kenobi and Christy and all those guys on our Monday night reread, that's live at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. I remembered how great this series is, and it breaks my heart it will break my heart if he doesn't finish. Like if he drops, I might literally have to mourn this because I still believe I'm going to get my books. I don't care what Gary says. I don't care what Doomcock says. I don't care what anybody says. I'm getting my books.
He always says he's working on them. I mean, he has to finish.
He has to.
The only thing he's finishing is another pot pie while telling people he's finishing something.
I just hope he doesn't spill it on his little 1989 computer then.
Exactly.
He doesn't spill it. He keeps the rest in his beard.
The dude is one order of McDonald's French fries away from keeling over dead.
Oh yeah.
What?
You don't know if he walks.
If he eats the wrong piece of bacon.
Let's sum it up. Wait, the living embodiment of diabetes. Like,
is there a wrong
1 and 2?
I would like to question. Remember Family Guy's skit where Brian confused the wrong George R. R. Martin and started telling him about his story. That's where he is right now, wheezing away on a cart. And I will find that clip. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, please do.
The problem is that all of this talk about, he's fat, he's old. This man stays busy though. He has
he does
projects coming out. He's mentoring people. He's publishing other people's books and stuff. I mean, it's not like he's just sitting around the house eating Big Macs and watching, whatever soap operas are on.
He's in the drive-thru.
He's working.
No. He's out in his backyard blowing bubbles, playing with the RC cars, jumping in the pool.
No, you guys are all wrong. He is rebuilding the Radio Flyer airplane from that Tom Hanks movie.
Wait, that wasn't Tom Hanks. That was Frodo, right? Radio Flyer. He dies.
Who was doing
Frodo,
the?
That was the dad, wasn't it?
Yeah, who was the narrator for Radio Flyer?
Oh, well, it was Tom Hanks, huh? My
bad. And swing and a miss.
Guys, I'm troubled and deeply disturbed by the assertion that Culture Casino thinks that there's a wrong piece of bacon.
He's gonna mock Canadian bacon. That's what he's gonna do.
Oh, yeah, that is the wrong kind of bacon. That's true.
What about turkey bacon?
George R.R. Martin needs to stay away from Canadian bacon.
Wait, if his name is Cookies, does that mean I can eat him too?
Yes, you can.
Cookie.
And he's a black and white cookie. Look at that. Look how sexy
so,
that is.
Hey, Elaine's got a good point here.
Yeah, she really does. Frank Herbert never got to finish his Dune saga.
That's true.
Well, let me ask you about that, Nick. He didn't get to finish it, but are there multiple books after that by different writers?
Yeah, so his son Brian, this is a classic tale, and I hope it doesn't happen to you Game of Thrones fans.
Okay.
Because Frank Herbert had 6 books in his series. He was supposed to do a 7th at least.
Mm-hmm.
And he died before that happened. And so his son Brian picked up where it left off. And whenever we're making any Dune content on our channel, it is a tiptoeing around the Brian stuff because he did such a terrible job in the minds of so many people. And he said that he used his father's notes, but there's so many contradictions. And he tried to finish it up. It is so ridiculous. He basically turned the whole thing. He minimized it down into like what the Terminator movies were. So it just turned into the Terminator of, basically Skynet came back or whatever at the end of the series. So, or it was them contending with that. And he boiled it down and completely robbed it of the spirit of what people thought Dune was. So I'm wondering for you Game of Thrones fans, would you be happy if George R.R. Martin wrote down notes? Like this is what Tolkien did with his work too.
No.
He wrote down notes on how he wanted it to go. And then from that, you could say, like Christopher Tolkien, continued on some of that stuff. I think Christopher did better with it than
he did a great job
than Brian Herbert did with Frank's stuff. But would you be satisfied at all with that? That's my question.
No, I won't. Quick question: Kevin J. Anderson do any Dune stuff by Ryan Cannell, RK Outpost?
Yeah, Kevin J. Anderson worked with Brian. Worked with Brian Herbert. So whenever you see Brian, it's usually Brian and Kevin J. Anderson. They did a lot of prequel stuff and sequel stuff, and they're actually continuing to do stuff with it. It's just that the little things, whenever we're doing Dune lore, whenever we're looking over that stuff, and Elaine's the expert. I've never read the books, and so I can just go off of what I read on the internet. I go to the wikis and all that. And just the basic contradictions. It's like the Last Jedi kind of stuff. Like that's the kind of, you don't understand the character when there's something like, did you read the first page of Dune? If he would have read the first page of Dune, he would have known that Paul Atreides was born on Caladan. But Brian Herbert, his son, said that Paul Atreides was born somewhere else. So little things like that. You're like, what are you doing, man? This is obviously so far from what your dad did. So it's a big source of controversy. There's a lot of gaps that he tries to fill in, and so we try to be positive and select, because there's people that love it. There's people that love the Star Wars sequels. There's people that love a lot of the stuff. So and they're pure intention. Not everyone that loves the Star Wars sequels are bad people or have bad intentions, but you try to tiptoe around, and you've got to be very careful when you're making Dune lore. And I hope that doesn't happen in Game of Thrones.
Right now,
is that right, Nerd Cookies? Was that when the book started going to crap?
What, Robert Jordan's?
When the Wheel of Time got started written by new writers.
What did he finish? The last couple, right?
That's the same thing happened to Robert Jordan in the Wheel of Time. Same thing. Robert Jordan died, and then the guy who finished it, they said it was like stretched out way too long.
And he's a good writer, though. He's a good writer, the guy, but you're right. Now, let me just put this out there. So I'm going to blow this up real quick. This is The World of Ice and Fire. This is written by George R.R. Martin, but it's really written by Elio and Linda. Elio and Linda, thanks, buddy. Elio
what's
Lin-
up with your camera?
I don't know why. What's the matter?
You're pixelated. You're all pixelated. Like
It looks clear on my end. That's weird. Okay.
There you go. It's good.
It's
good.
better.
Oh crap, that was weird. Am I pixelated again?
You were dither. No, yeah, you're
I
fine.
like
now
you
you
doing that movement though. That was really nice.
Yeah, that's really cool. Yeah,
even Wonder Woman's doing it. What the hell?
Make that a ridiculous meme.
So these guys right here, okay, they are like George's encyclopedia. George's book series is so like he breaks down every eye color of every character, every color of what they're wearing, every sigil they're wearing. And he has to go back and say, did I say this person's eyes were gray or blue in book 1 where I'm writing for book 5? So it's so deep and there's so many interwoven stories going on. I just don't think somebody else can come in with even the most detailed notes and finish the series where it would make you feel like, wow, that was George R. R. Martin. Yeah, satisfying.
I mean, I'm hoping that he actually prepared a summary telling us how it ends. That's all I really want.
Yeah. But here's the worst case scenario. George can't finish the books or those prequel books and hands them off to one of the High Republic authors.
Oh, listen, hold on. Before we go crazy.
Where the whole story gets turned around about Geode and how the winter is coming, but Geode never moves from that one spot.
What are you going to say, Matt Mardigan?
Well, he's starting to sell me on it now. We got Geode in this. I'm a geosexual. Like, I'm all for it. But no, if you look at like season 7 and 8, like, and well, whenever the novels like they ran out, like they had all the notes. In fact, George R. R. Martin is still alive, but yet they still failed so miserably. Like, do you honestly think like anyone else could come in and
true that?
But they had terrible writers.
High Republic, I swear to God. High Republic.
They seem that they're not going to be making that same mistake with the prequels because they're
getting true writers
who are actually good writers.
Right.
And well, maybe they've learned their lesson.
But
that's as far as the shows are concerned.
But Jayne, I hope that's true too, because it'd be great. Even if they did like an omnibus where he actually just put the finished storylines for those characters in there, so you had like a complete edition, that'd be great. But at the same time, we if we're going to go also down the TV route, because I'm hearing there's other shows as well. Let's look what they did to Sword of Truth in that series and other adaptations. We can get someone else coming in, and they just won't pay any attention to the source material. And next thing you know, it's all about a Starbucks cup being stuck on a wooden table while dragons are guarding the castle around you
and patting themselves on the back.
For 9 voyages, though, they're thinking of bringing in one of the co-creators for Rome, which is one of the greatest shows I've ever watched.
Love Rome.
So I'm excited about that.
I think the writers from Ghostbusters 2016 should handle Game of Thrones and see how it goes from there.
I could see them using improv.
Yeah.
That could go well.
What do we got here, Fat Steven?
Martin. God, he must be the coolest fat guy in a train conductor's cap in the world. Mr. Martin, I'm Brian Griffin, and I've got a pitch that's going to blow you away. Are you sitting down?
Hold on.
Almost always. Then join me on an interstellar crusade to Space Shire 7.
You're so going to get claimed.
I know, it's fine.
Hold on.
That man is an imposter. I am George R. R. Martin.
That was awesome. I'm so worth it being claimed. I don't even care. That was great. That was great. Here, we're going to read on a little bit more and we'll see what you guys have to say. The collapse of Thrones legacy is summed up by the second most popular Thrones related post on Reddit. Oh, see what it's second most. A discussion ignited by a now deleted tweet about the show's final. GOT was on TV for a decade and had a stranglehold on popular culture, said Twitter user Musket Anna. And it ended so poorly that literally the moment it ended, its cultural influence dissolved. It's amazing. So freaking true.
I mean, you had houses at war in real life. Like the Lannisters, their team Lannister were going around acting like Lannisters.
Yeah.
House Stark. I mean, the whole thing was so much fun just in the fandom. And now it's just like, you know what? Let me just throw all my stuff away. I don't even care anymore.
Like they literally have a Con of Thrones. They have a Con of Thrones that was getting bigger and bigger every year. And if anybody's involved in Con of Thrones, I'd love to be on a panel. And I would still go to that because I love this series. But if it doesn't finish, how can you keep doing a con for something that's you've been conned out of is the final books.
It can't. I don't see how.
I don't know. 8 years of memes, references. Yeah, it's just freaking ridiculous. Reddit, of course, is hardly reflective of the broader viewing public. Sure it is. It's pretty clear the ending of the series inspired a backlash, but that's doesn't mean that the show is tarnished for all viewers. Throne inspired endless memes and merchandise, tattoos, and Twitter handles. Surely those people that named their kid Khaleesi were regretting it. Surely that cultural influence can't just go up in flames like an iron chair remodeled by an angry dragon. Oh my God. Remember when that happened?
I still don't understand what that was about.
What are you talking about? The dragon understood that society needed to be rebuilt and that the chair, the going for the Iron Throne, the obsession of just that title, it had to be destroyed.
Wait, are you effing? Wait, is that real? Is that really what it was supposed to mean? It's just a dumb
I kind of made that. I made that up, but it sounded good, right?
Yeah, I was like, it sounded like something they would do.
I don't think they ever explained it, but
they never did.
That's what it was.
I mean, the guy just killed your mother, and you're going to look at him and be like, I'm burning the chair.
Well, he can't attack him because of the Targaryen blood. So he's like, no. I really wish I could get you right now, but
that's not true.
But I'm bound by law.
See, now in the history, many Targaryens have been killed by their own dragons. So it could have happened.
Okay.
You know, like there's a whole thing called that they're actually doing one of the prequel series on is the Dance of Dragons, which is Targaryen versus Targaryen, you know, like 20 something dragons going at it. It's an exciting time, but yet George, I don't care about that until you finish the damn books, even though I'll still watch it.
Wait, question.
Yes.
What do you mean all these dragons are going at it? What do you mean by that?
You know what I mean.
Yeah. What do you think
they're making love in the office.
Why do I feel like Scott has a blue dress with a stain hidden under his desk?
It's not blue, my son. Anyways, not the one I have. Let's look at how many people search the web for news or information about the series. A rough but reasonably reliable indicator it is. According to Google Trends, between 2012 and 17, Game of Thrones dwarfed Harry Potter as a search term whenever the show was on air. But by 2020, barely a year after it got ended, 13 years since the last proper Harry Potter movie, Potter was once again a massively more popular search term in terms of people Googling the show. Thrones is roughly on par with Friends, a sitcom that ended 17 years ago.
Oh my God.
Holy crap. What do you think about that?
I think most of them were Googling the Starbucks puff.
That's
a
strange.
90% of the searches.
Yeah, that's a strange collection of shows. I mean, I would think that there would be some crossover between Harry Potter and Game of Thrones, right? There's probably some crossover. Like Scott, you're a fan of both Harry Potter and Game of Thrones, but Friends, I mean, like, okay, I guess Friends is just kind of a general. Everybody likes Friends, or most normal people. Probably some people on the panel don't, but
Nick, that'd be fantastic. Can you imagine? Sorry, Jayne.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, wouldn't that be fantastic though if they decided to redo Game of Thrones, but with all of the Friends cast?
I'm in. I mean, we would watch it.
Chandler can be.
No,
one of them dies every other episode. One of them dies. It's great.
My God, you see Chandler get it? He'd be like, "What, Joey? What?" It'd be great. I'd watch it.
Yep.
Game of Thrusts, Game of Throats. Oh, you dirty boys! I didn't know what you were doing there for a second.
No.
Is that Etep Wanawanakui?
Yes, it is. Yes,
now, Etep Wanawanakui, is today your birthday?
Monday is my birthday, but today's day 2 of the celebration, man.
Nice. Welcome to the channel. Welcome.
Thank you, brother. Thank you for having me.
That's freaking awesome.
I'm still out here in my room backdrop. We still got plastic spoons everywhere. Yeah, we started celebrating last night, but thank you guys. I appreciate it. Who got Culture, Maki, Makini 90. We got Nerd Cookies. Got Jayne Theory. Fast Even. Is that Mads down at the bottom? Is that?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, I mean, this is great YouTube. Thanks for going through everybody's name. I already did that. All right, what do you think about? Were you a Game of Thrones watcher?
I've seen a handful of episodes. I'm about to start reading the Song of Ice and Fire book series, though.
Who got you into that?
My mother-in-law has the series, and she asked me if I wanted to read it. I'm like, actually, yeah, I do kind of want to check it out.
I just want you to be prepared if it never, if we don't get the final book, you're going to be disappointed.
You're gonna have a bad time, And I'm going with culture. He said he's never going to come out. I watched a video. I think it was Gary's video today talking about how this is going to play out. Basically, I have no anticipation it'll come out. I'm just looking forward to kind of checking out a new series of books and getting immersed in a new world of literature, as it were. So
could you not listen?
New world, a whole new thing.
Look, I love Gary. I do. The great guy. He's wrong. Mm-hmm. Gary's wrong.
Now, let me ask you this: was he wrong in that video that I dropped in the Winds of Winter chat yesterday?
I'm not going to talk about that. Okay, Makini, I'm not talking about that. He might have had a point.
Scott, you should just pick up Sword of Truth, Wizard's First Rule, and then go with that, and you'll have fun.
Sword of Truth. You told me that once before, and I forgot what it was.
I think you'll love Zedicus. Zedicus. I think you'll love a perverted old wizard.
It's actually a pretty cool series. I mean, I've been through a few of them. Yeah,
I have all the books, and I've read them about 2 to 14 times.
Yeah,
I don't know if you ever heard of Hank the Cowdog, but
I love those books.
It was a series I loved. So if you just look,
I liked Clifford as well.
Okay. We're not going to rehash the anger about the final. We already did, you jerks. Except to say that many viewers were stunned and angered to see their favorite characters ending their journey in less than satisfying ways. That is so just simplification of what happened. Over 1.7 million disgruntled viewers signed a petition to remake the final season, and HBO 10th anniversary celebration are overshadowed by lingering season 8 bitterness. They gave Zach
celebrations. I'm sorry, I don't want to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
I missed it. Did I miss the Where was the celebrations?
No one told me about it.
I have a question. When did Game of Thrones change from incest is coming to winter is coming? What season was that?
Winter was coming was only 1 episode, so it was really like winter came for a day, and that was season 8.
So I really don't. I'm sorry. I'm so ignorant to this. I guess oblivious. But after they got out of George R.R. Martin's books, right? They ran ahead of him. The HBO series ran ahead of him. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
And is that canon now? What they decided to do?
No. No. Don't ever say that again, Nick. Please don't.
It's
I don't. Okay. So did the last book of George R.R. Martin, did that end on like a big cliffhanger to where you couldn't fill in the gaps? Okay. All right.
Yes. What happened? Okay. I'm not going to say what happened. So,
but it was. You have to say what happened because from that point, the last word you read in the book that he wrote, from that point, everything right now afterwards is canon in the show. It's because of the show. Until the book comes out, the show is canon. I'm sorry, but that's the story you're going to get. So
that is not that's not true. Just because a show is made from a book series doesn't make the show canon. Absolutely I don't care if they go ahead of it or not. That's just not true.
Did Culture just also verify that now the sequel trilogy is also canon? Did you just do that by proxy? Yeah, you just did that, man.
Oh, damn it.
Well, he sold it to them. He sold it to the people who made it canon, so
but they're not interconnected to the point to where, like, if it happened in the show, it was like, because the show wasn't like a 1-for-1 adaptation of the book, though. So you have the canon that is the TV series.
Well, you have the
canon that is the book.
Keep in mind, he's also rewriting the books themselves. Like, we have chapters that have been released that he's now still rewriting. So what happened in the show is just what he thought maybe at the time, but it's all changing until it's actually in print in that final book. It's not canon.
Hey, I just have to say this. He's written all of the books to a certain point. Then we had the show. The show picked up theoretically where the books left off. You were always in an adaptation. You're always going to have theatrical license taken in order to condense it down to see it. Right. Otherwise, we would have had like 27 Harry Potter movies.
Right. And I understand what you're saying there. I do.
Yeah.
Okay.
So until the point at which it is replaced with something else, like hopefully the sequel piece of shit trilogy, until it's replaced with something else. That's the canon you're left with because it's in your head. Okay? Until you have something to replace what's in your head, you're a zombie.
Okay. Well, you lost me at the very end, but you're right. I understand what you're saying, but that show will never be my canon. That show will never be my canon. And I bet you anybody who watched the Ender Games movie would think the same thing.
Game.
Yeah, that one too. Or the Percy Jackson movies.
Percy Jackson.
Yeah, I would think the same. What am I? Is there an echo in here? Am I saying it right?
Sorry. No, sorry. I thought you were getting it wrong. Sorry, my bad.
I love you, buddy. I'm just playing. It's good YouTube. But it's the truth. You know, like, I understand what you're saying, but I just don't agree with you, and you sound stupid.
I have to interject quickly.
I love
George, if you're watching right now, make sure the last page in your last book says HBO is canon, just to piss off Scott. Just to have it on the last page in bold letters.
My ever-loving shit.
If I could interject just a little bit.
Yeah, please, Maki. Go ahead.
I stand by what I said, that he is not getting his priorities in check. You know, the thing with you know, J.R.R. Tolkien, the thing with Dune, the thing with, you know, the writer of Dunes and stuff is that, yeah, it was at a different, you know, they were at a different time. Mm-hmm. You know, they didn't have social media, they didn't have technology, wasn't like this back then. Right. But they still kept their priorities straight. They still kept focused on creating the books, the epic that they wanted to create.
Right.
That's sexy.
What is
You're
that?
Becoming.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Keep going.
You know, and this thing is, you know, I was already in college when I think it was like my first or second year of college when the, you know, Game of Thrones and subsequently The Walking Dead as well were very popular. People were talking about it all the time.
Right.
I had coworkers who were big fans of Game of Thrones, and they were really pissed about the finale and how they handled it.
Why?
You think?
I think a lot of it's just that, you know, it felt rushed. It felt like there was a lot of if there was a lot of stuff they felt like there was no sense of closure. It felt like they just kind of threw everything together just to get it out there.
And that's, you know what, Machina, you bring up a great point, but let me first, the great Toxic Man flew for $2. He's a channel member. Sporking's cannon fires blanks.
That's a true statement.
It is true. Not yet. I don't know. I'll prove.
Was there a wind blowing through the trees down there? I heard something.
Oh, is that Stephen the Tree Humper Walton?
God damn it! I think it's high.
Somebody else say it, Walton. How you doing, brother?
Everybody at once.
One man. That wind, Mariah.
What are you wearing?
One desire. Right, Stephen Walton is fucking your pushes.
Okay, keep doing that one.
That would be my Eagles shirt. That's what that is.
I'm sorry.
Are you going to like a retirement ceremony? Like why are you?
He's cosplaying as a mechanic. He's waiting for the lady to come over and touch his toolbox. That's he's like bow bow bow.
Oh God, Machina, you made a valid point there. The problem is, all right. So the show did rush. The show took one episode where, you know, the Queen helped save the world from the dead, and 2 episodes later, she lost her ever-loving shit.
Yeah,
it was ridiculous.
Right, and something to keep in mind is I always bring this up is that, you know, HBO and George R.R. Martin, you know, they were basically begging, you know, Benioff and Weiss to completely finish out the rest of that season.
Well, they were asking him to do 15 seasons.
Yeah, because they were angry about the fact that he basically just rushed through it.
Cut and run.
Put it off
another
so
reason
they
why I
could get
say
that
it's
Star
not
Wars
canon.
deal.
That's exactly why it's not canon.
Good point,
because they
Jane.
rushed through. They left out the story. They didn't adhere to his notes or his wishes.
Nope.
And we're supposed to just accept this? No.
Wait, I have a question. I have a question,
like
Jane.
About Star Wars, like
that's what I was just gonna say. It sounds like Star Wars,
right, Matt?
What about the Telltale series of the Game of Thrones? Is that canon?
Right, exactly. That we only got one of.
Yeah, we only got one of. And Telltale Games, they fell under.
I was really hoping for the next one. But
Scott,
yeah, go ahead.
I'm I'm sorry. Can I just make a real quick Dune comparison?
Please do.
So when the 1984 movie came out, David Lynch had and Elaine talked about this on her Guild Navigator video that came out, but
check it out, guys.
But he actually took, even though there were some descriptions that he already laid out for that creature, he took those elements in his later book, I think it was Chapter House, and he incorporated things from the movie, even though they weren't really within canon. He incorporated those things into the design and how the Guild Navigators worked, specifically their stages, right? So the point is, are you afraid that George R.R. Martin is going to take a look at seasons 7 and 8 of Game of Thrones and then incorporate those elements into his books?
No. What I'm afraid of.
You're not scared of that.
No, what I'm afraid of is that was his plan, and he would have got us there in a better way. See, I could see George turning the hero into the villain and doing it in a way where we've been cheering for that person throughout the books, letting them get away with atrocities because they did it for the right reasons, and then ending it with this person's really a villain because his whole thing is anti-war, anti-establishment. I would have found that to be amazing. The problem is they did such a shitty job at doing it that now I think he's like, I got to change everything at this end of the book. I can't end like this. What do you think, Mads?
No, I was going to say agreed. Like, I think if you look at the Snyder cut, like he tried to change things that didn't go over well. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
That didn't go over well with the fans or whatever. Like, there's no way that he'll be like, well, maybe they'll like it better in written form. No, I think he'll change some things that really did not go over all that well.
But he would have done, I personally, and Jayne, I think you'll back me on this. If he decided to make Danny the villain at the end, he would give it to us in a way where we would have looked back and be like, damn it, we should have saw that.
Exactly.
Because she's done some horrible things, right?
She has.
But not like they took it to.
Not. And there's some other stuff too that suggested that wasn't supposed to be the ending as well.
Right.
Remember, she wasn't going to lose her mind. That was something they came up with later. So which is it?
Right.
Which one of these is in the notes that they were provided, because they're two totally different endings.
Right.
I have a question for both of y'all though.
If
let's say like he does use like let's say that these were his notes, but he obviously would have done a better job of getting it across on page, right? Mm-hmm. Would it be disappointing though to see the same kind of story play out, regardless of how much better it's fleshed out by Martin? Like, would it still be a little disappointing that, oh, this really is how it was supposed to end?
Well, again, I think Jayne says it really well. They didn't take his notes to heart. They tried to tell us that some of these points were directly from George R.R. Martin, but they rushed it. And even Amelia Clark was very disappointed at how they flip-flopped her character at the last table read. So going back to what you just said, I think he would have got us there. It would have been better. I think I would have been disappointed with Bran being the king, but see, if he made Bran the king, we would have seen it in a different way. It wouldn't have been Bran the Broken had the best story. It would be Bran is being used by the children of the forest because they're controlling him mentally, and now they run the world after losing it to man. Right. So, like, it would have been such a better way of doing it, and it might still end up that way.
Epic. That's a much more epic version.
Well, that's what I mean is, like, if he does it now, though, after season 8, not how he would have done it if there was no, like, now, would it be disappointing seeing it play out the same as it did in season 8?
No, because it won't be the same.
It wouldn't be.
It would be like Bran would be king, but nothing would be the same.
Oh, okay.
Like he's literally being a puppet to the trees. Like, you have to understand the books better to know, like, the kid
he's supposed to turn into a tree.
Like, yeah, pretty much. Like, put it this way: there's a part where his friend, the Mira and Jojen Reed are bringing him to the Three-Eyed Crow. And in the story, they show him in the show die outside of the castle, Jojen, or outside of the cave, get blown up by one of them, so he doesn't turn into a white. In the books, spoilers, Jojen is there, but he's like falling apart, and the next thing you know, he's gone, and Bran is eating a paste that looks like blood in it, and we believe he's been crushed up and put into this paste to make Bran open up his third eye. Like, it's so different that they made it so simplified and left out such important parts of the story that show is nothing like the book series.
But it's still canon.
It is not. I hate you. I hate you, Fat Steven.
It's still canon while the books aren't getting done.
It
Right.
can't be because
That's what I said.
It's not consistent and it's contradictory. How can it be canon? You can't have two different stories be canon.
Exactly.
But are
This
the
is
books
canon
finished?
right here.
No, it's not.
That's canon.
No.
This is my
You
head
have to-
canon.
You have to sing it like the
Why is it always
Captain
the angry
Philo,
picture?
Going down, whispers timber.
Are you angry or are you just smiling?
Yeah, it looks like a smile to me, man.
Yeah, if a tree falls in the wood, is Walton there to fuck it?
Thank you, guys.
Let me.
But she
nice
wasn't.
shit.
Man Squatch.
grinding that
She
bar.
wasn't. She wasn't responsible for burning the city to the ground. That was a story they came up with after the fact.
Right.
The
It was
first
supposed to
story,
be
the wildfire did it.
the wildfire did it, and you can actually see the wildfire blowing up in the last episode, or the second to last episode. You could see the wildfire, which is that green fire
Well,
blowing
how do you know
up.
that for sure? I mean, honestly, because that's a better idea. Like, did she attack the city and then the wildfire got set off?
I
So
have
it was
a
like
I have a
it wasn't her
query.
fault?
since- Yeah, and I'm about to say no, because look, they used all the
I'm
wildfire.
sorry, hold on.
to-
Hold on. There you go.
Okay, they used all the wildfire to blow up the thing.
No, they
that
didn't.
it was in. Oh,
No,
okay.
there was a lot of hidden stashes all over the city left by the Mad
Well,
King.
I have to say, I really enjoyed that part.
When they blew up the Sept,
Yeah,
that was dope. Yeah.
I want to ask, I guess, in kind of relation, because it does sound like him wanting to change the books and such. I was hearing that one of the issues that people had with season 8 was that you had this huge buildup, almost like a character assassination of Daenerys, and especially with the dragons. Would that be something that would change your thoughts if those kind of little detail stuff were kind of rearranged or rechanged as he would have said what he would have said?
Jayne?
Okay. I don't think it was a character assassination because I don't think that this is the direction they were going in the first place.
Oh, okay.
They literally changed the ending. If
Right.
you follow Dragon Demands or
Awesome channel.
Dragon Demands, follow his channel. He goes through a lot of the original scripts that show what was supposed to be the story, what they wrote the first time.
Right.
And they changed it at the
Because they
last
wanted
minute.
to end it.
But my
Exactly.
No, go ahead.
No, so either we're going to get the ending that we got in the show, or we're not. My guess is we're going to get the ending that we got in the show, and it was received so poorly that George is done writing the books.
I don't think there's any reason to believe we would get the ending we got in
No.
the show.
No.
Because that was not something that George created.
Nope.
They were working from the dude's notes.
No, you didn't just listen to anything she
no.
just
Here's
said.
the thing, Culture. They were working on it. They were working, and this is what I was hearing.
They
Is
were
that they
working
were
from his
working
notes
on it
until they weren't.
while he was
Exactly.
still finishing up. They were working on it while he was still finishing up the books. From what I was hearing about one of the problems with season 8 was that they didn't have any material
Left.
to work from because George was still working on wrapping up that book.
This is what happened. Listen,
Okay.
this is what happened. From what I have seen, what Jayne and I have seen and talked to and seen their actual people that know people, like real sources, there were HBO, George wanted this to be 15 seasons. Dan and Dave got arrogant, wanted to get Star Wars money, wanted to get Netflix money. And in the middle, at the beginning of season 8, they had Amelia Clark believing it was going to be one thing, all of them believing it was going to be one thing, and they changed it at the last minute. That is why even in the last episode, you see green fire blowing up because it was supposed to be an accident. It was supposed to either be an accident
She
or
wasn't chasing the civilians through the streets.
she would never burn civilians down. She would never do that.
I mean,
I
they
watched
kind of
Jurassic
showed her
Park.
doing it.
From freeing slaves.
So basically,
wait a minute.
switch up.
So if we get the ending that you said, because you're contradicting yourself, I know that that's okay. But if we're going to get the ending that we got, George could explain it better. But we still get the ending that we got.
It would still be better.
Wait,
that's all I'm saying.
I don't.
What-
Okay.
how
here's
come the one
problem. Here's the problem. The ending that we got was not even the ending we were going to get from D&D.
Right, from the show. Yeah, right. But what you're not right, and what you're not hearing me say, what's your name again? Culture.
The old guy.
Sorry about that, dude. Sorry, I'm like blanking now. The story, the bare bones, the fucking bare bones, if we were gonna get, would be completely like, yes, Bran might be king, but if Bran became the king in the books, it's because he's just being used by the children of the forest. Like, it would be a totally different reason than he had the best story.
To believe the show is the actual ending, how that will play out, you have to almost disregard the books.
Exactly, altogether.
It just doesn't
Easily.
make sense.
Never read them. Never
There you
read them.
go.
Can easily dismiss all of them.
So
But
it's your canon.
no, like it was no. That's not my canon either.
the
I'm gonna read it vicariously through you guys. Like
There you
I'll
go.
let you guys read the books, and you'll be like, "Yeah, it was good. Cool, it's good. That's my canon now. Like that's all I need."
I thought Emmett
You make
Brown.
Well, you kind of make it sound like how we all are with, kind of how you and Jayne are, Scott, with this, how we all feel about the sequel trilogy, and that not being canon or that being canon.
It's kind of worse. It's kind of
It
worse.
is worse.
Because Disney was given the rights to Star Wars. They could write whatever they wanted, and that would be their story that they created.
Yep.
In this instance, this is George's story that D&D took and trashed. It's not the same thing.
Right.
Right.
And the worst part is they were supposed to work with him. Something went wrong when on the final episode of the series, not the season, but the series came out, and George was tweeting about a different show altogether. Something went wrong. Real quick, Toxic Man Flu for $5. I am an emotional vampire, and I've been feeding off the crushed souls of Game of Thrones. It is canon until the books contradict it, Scott. Feed me your soul. I freaking love to hate you right now, Toxic Man Flu. But you're the best. Thank you for giving me your money. You're right.
You're blocked.
E-Tep,
You're officially
E-Tep.
blocked.
E-Tep, I've got something for you, man.
Dude,
what is?
I love it. I love it. We watched it last. Dude, I had my kid doing lines from that movie in front of the screen, reciting
Thank
lines.
God
from
you
Tommy
finished
Wiseau.
that. Thank
Yeah.
you.
I was like, my 5-year-old was just doing bumps. He's fine.
Yeah,
Don't
just
worry
doing
about it.
rippers.
He's good.
So
He's good. Welcome to the
and-
Jackson family.
Yeah.
Hi, Mark.
When you kind of bring it, I guess when you break it down, it's that like usually it's something that the fall of like a property like this can be the result of like
arrogance,
woke identity politics, or this, that, or just bad management. In this case, it's just straight arrogance.
It was straight arrogance
from Varioth and Weiss, who they were getting these. Because they were getting all these, it's not just Star Wars, but because they became such a big name,
right? Well, they started believing it was theirs.
These gigs, yeah.
Like when you try to tell me the reason why Danny's dragon got shot by a freaking dude on a boat from a mile away, in the skies, because Danny forgot about an armada being there. Yeah, you're an idiot. You're an idiot.
No,
We're done.
like,
go ahead.
And they just left the War Council meeting. Explain it to me.
Yeah, please do.
It's easy. Women are known to have like the worst memory.
No, you
Like, they
derailed.
forget things all the
quite
time.
opposite.
Well, that's why they always ask for directions, right? Isn't that
They never
You're
bring
not
anything
with
up that happened
I'm not
years ago.
associated with these comments.
We support strong women.
Yeah, Nick
didn't-
Cookies, eat your tacos.
Even
Do
if
not
they
listen to
forget
them.
everything, we would still
And
support
apparently
strong
women
women.
can't see because she was above the ships and couldn't see.
Exactly. She was
Didn't-
in the air,
didn't
and all of
she
a sudden,
just-
like, ah!
Didn't she just lose her mind and start killing everybody because her cousin wouldn't sleep with her or something?
No, she heard the bells, and the bells made her. Now that's another thing. Think about this. So the story they're stealing from, which I believe is this guy John Connington, who lost a battle to Robert Baratheon where the bells were being rung, and he was like exiled. Okay, so that. If that ever happened, I could understand it. Dany, the sound of bells should tell her of being a Dothraki. You just won. You're victorious. You're not going to have to cut your braid because the bells are ringing. These guys did not understand the material, and I hate you all for saying it's canon.
I thought the bells thing was like the symbiote, like Venom. I thought
it should have shook her off then.
Well, I mean, their
explanation
was that it reminded her of, well, she was looking at the Red Keep, right? And it reminded her of what they did to her family and all this and all that she lost. But she didn't go directly to burn the Red Keep to the ground. She turned around and started attacking random people on the ground. Their own story made no sense.
It worked out.
I mean,
and it's funny. It's really interesting because, it's interesting that it happened to a property like this because up until the end of the 8th season, Game of Thrones was the biggest thing in pop culture. Yes. People were talking about it all the time. Like the only things the biggest things I would ever hear about were the Red Wedding.
Yeah, you weren't listening.
Daenerys
I hated
taking control of the dragons. The what was it? The fight with the. Was it the Winter Walkers, the Frost
White Walkers?
White Walkers.
Frost Walkers.
Winter Walkers are what the old White Walkers used to get across the ice.
The patriarchy.
The fight. Yeah, the whole fight, the build up with the fight between the White Walkers.
Oh yeah, the long night that lasted 4 hours.
Long night. And I heard that was kind of derailed because you have like this one female character who basically just kills like the main leader of the White Walkers with ease like that. Or
thank you,
all of the Dothraki died. All of them died,
and then they came back the next episode.
They did. They regenerated.
I have a problem with White Walkers. I don't think that's very inclusive. It's very supremacist on that part. Yeah,
it is. Denounce white supremacy people. Mr. Tickle Trunk, wait a minute. Mr. Tickle Trunk for Canadian $2 with a super sticker that does what? I don't know.
I denounce White Walkers.
I love
Shiba Inu
farting hearts.
Oh, that's freaking awesome. Thank you, brother. You rock, man.
But and that's the thing is that it's you see how big it became. You see that it could have been one of the greatest, shows of all time, one of the greatest properties of all time. If it wasn't for the arrogance of Benioff and Weiss in that last season, it could have been. And it was like that one little mistake ruined it. It's like that one little factor,
Can I just say this? So if a book or any material beforehand is upset or destroyed by a movie or show, it's now canon. Are we really saying this? It sounds like nothing everyone has been saying for years. God bless you, Tommy. Thank you, brother. It's the truth.
This truly is me trolling.
I know you are.
Absolutely.
It makes good YouTube. It makes good YouTube.
I think there's a big difference between Game of Thrones and Star Wars, though.
Star
Wars didn't really have it. Yeah. They didn't. Well, obviously, it's a huge difference. I mean, one has dragons. Star Wars has great dragons, but yeah. So, but Star Wars never came from source material, right? It was always just what came
George's
next.
mind.
Whatever. Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just he kind of, and a lot of times he thought on the fly, or he relied on guys like Alan Dean Foster to kind of flesh out a lot of the details. But when you come to Game of Thrones, it's such a weird situation that George R.R. Martin decided to allow them to continue on beyond his books, that he didn't have some stipulation like, yeah, you can develop them, but obviously you got to wait on me.
And because he never thought,
and the thing is,
he never thought, he's admitted to it. He never thought they would get ahead of him. And the worst part too is he made one of the reasons he started A Song of Ice and Fire was so it could not be reproduced on TV or movies. Mm-hmm. That's why he makes the ice wall in the north 700 feet high. That's why he makes these outlandish castles so massive, because he thought no one could ever reproduce this. And you know, these guys bamboozled them. They really did. They made them think they were fans, and the truth came out once they started winning Emmys, and they screwed him over, and they screwed over a fandom.
Yeah.
And that's just the truth of it. They're worse than Rian Johnson because he never gave a shit. These guys pretended to give a shit.
Every single year, I would watch the previous, like in the anticipation of the next season, I would watch the previous season or seasons as it became over the years. And once the quality and storytelling dropped, I was like heartbroken. Those last two seasons, that
terrible.
It was terrible. It was. That can't be the last thing that we get. Right. I don't care what form it comes.
Right, and the funny thing is that Game of Thrones, it became pop culture because a lot of stuff that was coming out, and a lot of stuff came out at the time. Believe it or not, they definitely took a lot of inspiration from Game of Thrones, even if not big or small. Very subtle hints, though.
And that's the thing, Nerd Cookies. One of the things I mentioned during my diatribe about how I can torture both Scott and Jayne simultaneously
very easily
is that the material is condensed because it's an adaptation. And as I mentioned during the diatribe, Harry Potter would have been like, I don't know, 27 movies. I don't know. It's just because there are 4 books that are just stupid long.
Yeah.
And it's just, it's one of those things. And of course, I always feel like when you do an adaptation, like what they're doing with Dune, because I know you and Nick are on the Dune thing. You're trying to adapt canon into another medium. So you're 100% right. So you have to decide if there is published material that you're basing something on, is the published material the canon, or is the film the canon? In the case of Star Wars, it started with the films.
Right.
In the case of Game of Thrones, it started with these books. So just for fun and not to so I'm going to not torture anybody anymore. I'm going to say this. I'm going to say it is the show's not canon. At least the books are canon because there's that much difference between the books and the adaptation through the first, couple of seasons when they started to run out of the source material. Mm-hmm. So even then it wasn't canon because they left out characters entirely. And we've had this obviously this is something that Scott and Jayne and many others talk about on their Monday show. So that's why I love to listen to that. That's why I lurk in the background, because I'm hearing about a lot of stuff. It reminds me about the books that I read and how different they were from the show. Now, I loved the show until we got to about season 6-ish. Yeah, I made it into 6.
Actually, season 6 was a good season. 5 sucked. 6 was okay. 7 and 8 were just horrific.
The Red Wedding was one of the moments that I thought was both amazing,
yes,
and kind of genre changing.
Yep.
Yeah, because everybody was talking about it.
You literally, you talk about killing your darlings. You literally killed a family of darlings. It was unbelievable, unspeakable. You couldn't have imagined it, and it occurred right there in front of you.
Did it subvert your expectations?
No. Actually, it changed. That's a little different. And if you use those words around me again, I will.
Real quick, guys, Orville Nation for $5 is asking, wait, is he imitating Final? Give this guy an Oscar. Smiley face, crying to the side, crying.
All he needed was Final's background, the unfamiliar background. I would have thought it was him.
Look at him.
Okay, now not. Yeah.
No. With the hat. It was the hat.
I went back to the Chester Bennington there.
So my favorite part was we were going to talk about this for about 5 minutes.
Chester was a cool
We went over an hour talking about this.
I still have questions.
Sorry,
what if I've never read the book? Is the show my canon? Does it matter if you read the book or not?
You know what? That's a valid point, and I would say yes.
There.
But in the grand scheme of it, the books are canon. But that's your knowledge. If you don't read the books, then the show is canon. If you read if you watch the show first and then read the books are canon.
What's sad though is that a lot of people who watch the show only were so turned off by the ending that they're not even interested in reading the books.
Reading the books.
Not even a little bit. And
Well,
I know
that's
how
one
to
of the
read.
reasons I did it. That's one of the reasons I went ahead and decided to do my show on Monday nights with Jayne and Stig and Teresa and Lady Tauriel, is because the books are that good. I know I have people that have never read the books, still have not read the books, that just watch our stream because they enjoy the conversations we have, because it gets so, we only do like
Right
2
here.
or 3 chapters a week, you know?
So
What
right
do you
here.
think, Final? Okay. That works.
I don't know.
So-
I was reading the chat.
Just stop eating all your edibles. Nick,
No,
what
I
were you
agree.
going to say?
I didn't. I've been drinking all day.
Oh, okay. That's different. Nick,
Oh.
were you going to say
It was.
something?
We're celebrating my birthday, man. I was drinking.
It's on Monday.
Yeah.
Well,
So
I get a whole weekend.
Okay.
That's not how
Party.
birthdays work.
All right. Nick Cookies is speaking.
I keep going back to Dune, but that's okay. I'm kind of expected to do
No,
that. We are
please
Nerd
do.
Cookies.
Yeah.
So, when you realize that people watch the 1980, we have this conflict on Nerd Cookies all the time in the comments with every video we make, because you have to tiptoe, because you realize that some certain people love the 1984 Lynch Dune, right? They love that movie, and
I
that's
do.
what's their headcanon because they never read the books. But as soon as you read the books, you realize how much love and work and effort was put into this, and then you come to appreciate that so much more, and then you see the movie for what it is, which is just an
Yeah.
adaptation. What some guy was inspired by the books and said, I could take some liberties here and there. But then probably the same thing with Game of Thrones.
Right.
You read the books and you say, wow, how much care and effort was put in. You can examine each character, and you could go on each character and their motivations and their background and their abilities. And you realize, wow, this is carefully crafted, versus what they did, what the studio did with it was just to make money. And it was just motivated by greed. And you see it for it. This is a product versus that's a piece of art. The books are a piece of art.
Great way of putting it, man.
I think the
That's a good way
difference
of putting
is
it,
that
yeah.
the movie, at least for me, because I like the movie too,
Yeah, I do.
was actually kind of good. I think the world is pretty much in agreement that season 8 sucked and ruined the show.
Yeah.
Culture did not agree with you on that.
I have a question about, because
Mads, go again.
This may surprise some people, but I've never read the Dune books.
Oh, I haven't either.
Does the cod piece play as big a role in the books as it did in the movie?
The Sting cod piece?
It's so far away from what was in the. Now the movie might be good on its own, but it's not truly a reflection of what's in the book. So you can love both, but it's like saying that you like Boone's Farm, and Boone's Farm is fine, or saying that you like a Cabernet Sauvignon, like you like an actual
Boone's
wine that was made.
Got a classic guy
versus like something that is it's good on its own, but it's
Mad
not.
Dog
But we didn't
all
even
day.
get anything that's good on its own. I mean, that's the
Right.
problem. And if you look at Star Wars too, the sequel trilogy, for me, it didn't have to perfectly align with the lore, but it could have at least have been good.
Tried?
Yeah,
Well,
I was gonna say
Made it at
Well,
least an
well,
effort.
Jane, if I could correct one statement, it didn't have to align with the lore, but at least could respect it.
Well, that's what I mean by be good. It wasn't good at all. It wasn't good in how the characters were portrayed. So we have nothing really. The only reason why the people who like The Last Jedi like it is because they're pushing some sort of agenda. That's the only reason. But for that, they would hate it too.
Yeah, and that's what's missing from Game of Thrones. It's like there's not that real deep ideology like that can be used in that sense. So they let it die, because sometimes you got to let the past.
And that's the thing. Game of Thrones is not going to be considered. It's
subverted my expectations.
It's not going to be considered a cult classic. See, Dune 1984 was so bizarre, and you know what? Lynch is a good filmmaker, and he made something that's kind of a bastardization of the books in many people's eyes, but on its own, it stands out as unique, and it's strange and bizarre, and it's just like it sticks with you. And so it bombed at the box office. It really did not do well at all. But it became a cult classic over time, and it's remembered fondly. You're not going to be able to, and I agree with Jane. You're not going to be able to say that about Game of Thrones especially season 7 and 8. It's, from obviously I haven't seen them, but it's a meme at this point, right? Those seasons are a meme, and it's culturally accepted. Yeah, it was horrible. It's not gonna ever become approved.
And the same can be said with the sequel trilogy, is that say what you will, it will not be remembered fondly in 10 years.
No.
I mean, even the people who claim to be fans of The Last Jedi only talk about it when they're fighting with us.
Right.
That's not true. That's not true.
Yeah. Really?
Raylo spawned from The Last Jedi, and the only thing they do is write fan fiction and follow those two around like Dave Chappelle's crack addict. They're like, y'all want to buy some crack?
Until the next big thing.
Like Tyrone Biggins.
Relationship.
Tyrone
That's the
Biggins.
only thing.
Everybody knows.
Well, talking about fan art, did I save this? This is Bohemian Rhapsody, I think the name of the channel is. No, I'm sorry. It's Carpenter Sound. Oh, is the song Bohemian? I can't.
Yeah. That's why I said check it out later.
Yeah, I'll check that out later.
Yeah, that's why I said check it out.
Well, I also wanted to talk about, guys, Lorena Creel, 2K.
Cheerleader stream is now go.
It is a go. She hit it.
Well, last time I checked today, we were at 1,990 something. So
let me check because I have her up right now. She's at 199. So, guys, please support Lorena Creel. Please put that in our chat. Her link.
Yeah, we've got a few people out there that ain't subbed yet. Go ahead.
Right,
I already got my cheerleader outfit.
Guys, she has a great school called the After School Special. I'm in an episode, so check it out.
Yeah, we deleted that one.
Oh, crap.
But don't worry, I'm in one of those episodes as well, though, right?
You're in two, actually. We interviewed you, and you came in as a step-in, and that was the whole Grogu joking thing. We went for hours on it. We found out that Grogu was the reverse word for a marijuana strain. Ugord.
I was on the second episode of I think it was the After School or the live stream. Yeah, I was on the second episode.
Ain't you fancy? All right. So after an hour and 21 minutes of talking about a 5-minute topic, we're not going to finish that article, but we are going to check out Drunk 3PO's his Twitter. I was going to say slide it into his DM. Oh, Rogue, hide that.
D3PO.
Wow.
Let's go.
Wow.
These were the people that flagged my store the last time. Remember, someone even pushed violence to anyone wearing a shirt. What is he talking about, Steven?
Wait. What's even funnier is that the chick that was threatening to punch someone in the face, when people started calling her out, she deleted that tweet. Because she got scared that she looked at it. Yeah.
Right.
But what are we talking about here, Steven? What is the great Drunk 3PO bringing up?
Well, Drunk 3PO was pretty much bringing that his Teespring got not only taken down, everything got wiped out of it. So he had to go now, to TeePublic?
TeePublic.
And for the next 2 days, all the shirts are like $12 each American.
Yep.
So he had the cancel culture show earlier today, and there's people that were just buying the shirts up. One man or one woman or whatever you identify as dropped like $100 in his merch while that show was going on. So yeah.
Well, I actually bought one too. I got the Rebellion shirt. I'm pretty stoked. It's in a blue color with the yellow lettering. I think it looks really nice. Orville Nation for $5. Question: when we gonna get a Culture Casino origin stream? I almost thought he put origami. Culture?
That's a good question. So when I retire from, the world I live in, I will be doing that. In fact, I will no. My public life that isn't on YouTube, I'll do that. I actually plan to tell everybody this ridiculously long life story that you aren't going to believe because it's fantastical and amazing. So, but
I've heard it. It's not believable.
It's fantastic.
What I'm trying to figure out is how can you take down a store for using a sentence "We are the rebellion"? I'm sure it's been used numerous times across the history, right?
Right. It's the same people who tried to. Sorry. It's the same people who tried to take it down. Who took down the first shirts that he put up of Gina Carano. It's the same people.
I think, Mackie, the reason is that all these people are very angry that they can't find the shirt in their size. I think this is what it's all about. They're not big enough for their ego and their loud mouth. I think that's what the problem is. They can't.
Oh God! They're like political agendas. You know what, guys? The guy made a T-shirt. He's a simp for Gina Carano. He loves her, and you bomb this site. This is what cancel culture is, people. They don't just go after you. They go after anybody that supports you. Any way you can make a financial living in this world, they try to destroy that. That is doxing to the utmost degree. That is destroying people's lives, man.
It's not crazy, what's crazy is that they're not just going after the celebrities anymore either. They're going after fans. Like that, I mean, just imagine how insane that is, that you can't even like a person or like a character now.
You can't even like a tweet, Jayne.
At all, or retweet anything.
You can like the correct people, like the people with the right.
Well, you can't even leave. You can't even leave yourself open to just being neutral about something. You have to side with them.
But that's only for a certain degree until you say something wrong and then they turn on you. If Walton, you know what I'm talking when I bring up the say no to rage stuff, right? Right. And they when Upper Echelon started doing his video, they went after his video. First, they tried to claim it as the screenshots from the Twitch streams. That's all public for public viewing. And then they tried to get the wedding photographer to take down the video the next day, and that was back up in a couple hours. They have gone not only after Lono's Twitch platform, he's kicked off the purple platform. They took away his 6-figure income. They made him to the point where he had to get therapy. He had his heart. He has to monitor his heart because of palpitations and how much stress and anxiety it does. Cancel culture has come to such a point where the people you're attacking is not just the person you're going after, their family, their kids, their relatives, their friends, guilty by association, to the point that they want to take your soul. They don't want to just destroy what you are. They want to take that away from you, and then they move on to the next person and do it again. They have no soul in themselves. They don't care. They hate. They are just a projection of hate. Yeah. This is like playing paintball, but all you're trying to do is take out people from living.
It's not even paintball, Steven. It's worse than that. It's a drug addiction.
I'm not. Yeah, well,
it's addiction.
It is addiction.
They get high off of ruining somebody's life.
They get high off the power, Scott. It has nothing. I don't think it's anything else but power over another being because they cannot live with themselves.
Right. So it's almost like an abuser.
They've never accomplished anything. They've never created anything. They don't do anything. They don't have a life. This is their life. They live in a virtual world. They have no outside contact. And if they do, it's little to none with low functioning social interactions, because most of them are probably heavy introverts. And they're the ones that all their hatred is just projection and self-loathing.
It's also because if they can find the same clusters of like-minded people who are willing to go into this type of narrative. Because if you engage a person on the street with this type of behavior, this type of attitude, someone's going to tell you about yourself.
Well, if my child is wearing a rebellion shirt and someone walks up and says, "I'm punching the first person I see," well, guess what, brother? I'm punching back. You're not hitting my kid.
Well, if you actually saw the person under that picture, she doesn't look like she can lift her arm farther than to her mouth.
They're all keyboard warriors.
Well, the thing too is they also create these identities. I mean, a lot of these
are fake.
They're troll accounts.
Yeah,
right. They're not even real. They sit up and create all of these accounts and then send them to attack individuals like they're some sort of army. I mean, it literally has become a game to these people.
It's almost like the ones that they're like NPCs, isn't it?
Right. It's the most bizarre thing.
I think it's a social currency. That's what that's what Jay brought out about all this drunk 3PO is that this is a social currency, and just like teenage girls that post a picture of themselves and then they watch it like religiously for the next 30 minutes to see how many likes it gets, to see if it got more likes than their friend. And this is what it's warped people into thinking, okay, if I can get on this side, I can look at these 7 hearts that she's got, right? 7 people were like, hey, so maybe that's good for them. Maybe that's a milestone. And like, hey, I'd like to get to 10 likes on this. And it's a social currency. And it's sad because the corporations also view this currency as legitimate as well. So Disney views that currency as legitimate. That's why they canceled Gina Carano, right? So these people are being encouraged, hey, go on Twitter. The more likes you get, the more traction you can get on Twitter, which is a garbage platform, obviously. But so this is what's warping these people, and they're looking at companies like Disney, I think, in my opinion, to to be able to gain a little bit of boldness to be able to do this kind of stuff, which they obviously would not follow through with. I mean, how many times could you talk to somebody in person and not say the same things that you could say online? I mean, online is like it's like a shield in front of them, and they can say whatever they want, and so it's just about currency.
Well, Nick, it's kind of like that study, or I forget what show it was, where if you had a choice between two superpowers, to fly or to be invisible, what would you choose? And it would depend on what the environment was. If you were invisible, you would act like that person on Twitter because no one can see you. But 90% of the times, if you're not going to be held accountable for that, you would say flying. It would also be the perception of the person asking the question, how insecure or secure with your answer. So, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're invisible. They're anonymity. We interviewed today. We actually had a guy named Grimasaur on our stuff, and he's controversial in his own way, but he's also been a victim of this, to the point where they almost drew him to self-deletion.
Wow!
But he didn't do it. He went through a lot. He had a supporting family. He's gone through it all. They've attacked everything about him, and all because he had a title in an article that they didn't even read. They just went off the word in the article.
Well, that's the part. They don't read it. They see the headline. That's all people need now. When you have headlines that within 2 paragraphs contradict themselves in their own story, you know people aren't reading it because they're just going off the headlines. And I don't. I'm not saying. Well, real quick, I'm not saying this term lightly either, people. So please understand that. But like, for some people, that's self-deletion. That's like social media suicide. Like, you're done. Like, you just ended your life on social media. I know that word is powerful, and I don't mean it lightly. Self-delete. But it's that's what it is. Self-delete is the word to use. It's terrible.
Scott,
you're ruining people.
Scott, you got to hear this. They went after. They sent him emails. They sent him razor blades. They threatened to kill his pets. This is how
is that not harassment?
Now, I want you guys also to remember, what was it, last year or 2 years ago? Let's bring up a famous name by the initials Z and Q, who still hasn't taken responsibility or apologized for making accusations to the point where a game developer took his own life, even though he was getting better through therapy.
Right.
This is the type of stuff that those people, ZQ, breed. And they have
I'm with you.
No,
it's
morals.
Your boy Zach has said this numerous times. It's not just they want you homeless. They don't want you unable to, provide for your family. They want you dead.
Yeah.
They literally want you dead. They want to find ways they want to try to force you to self-delete.
Well, that's the problem. And what we need to do is, when we find things like this, when that girl says, I'll punch the first person in the face, if you see that, we need to use their own tactic against them. And that's, hey, Twitter support, this person's dangerous. Well, Twitter support, we need help with this.
More than that, there needs to be police reports being filed.
Yes.
That is true, but at the same
time, real life, real world consequences.
Right. Not social media. Like, Steven, I'm not talking about social media. But yes, this person is they're threatening. What are you going to do about it, Twitter? Because they don't care.
Okay, but at the same time, I agree with that. You must report the tweets. But at the same time, when it comes to these situations and they're just doing it for attention, you know what you do? You just take a screenshot. You don't reply. You don't retweet. You don't quote retweet. You know why? The more eyes on it, the more they're getting off on it. You know what you do? You don't acknowledge it. If you don't acknowledge it, you take away their power, you take away their hate, and they're left there looking for the next tweet to go after.
But isn't that a catch-22 then? You got to report it. So what do you do? Screenshot?
No, you can report it, but it doesn't mean you have to interact with it. You don't comment on it. That's what I'm saying.
So a screenshot, report it.
Yeah. I mean, look at the Rewriting Ripley podcast. How small was that when they first released that thing? It was tiny. It was like insignificant.
Right.
And then through all the traction, it's blown up, hasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
So any press is good press in that regard. So you got to be a little careful.
Well, there also comes that
when they were revealed and they started to be discredited, then they started deleting all of the stuff they had been posted.
That's why I have a folder called Stupid Tweets.
I wouldn't ignore them. I would take it, sort of attack it head on, and I would actually follow up with it in the real world so that people start to understand there are consequences for making these sorts of threats, and there are consequences for harassing people online. When you're upsetting me to the point where you're creating emotional distress or you're harming me financially, I'm sorry, but you're going to have a record.
I love when Jayne goes this route.
It may just be a police report, but you're going to have a record. I'm sorry.
Well, one second, Makini, 1 second, because Walton, I haven't heard from you. What do you have to say?
I was going to follow up mostly what Jayne said, in contradiction to what Fat Steven was saying. What about ratioing someone? Pointing out the bad behavior, not liking it, interacting with it in a way that you ratio. The comments to.
Well, that's what Tom brought up, right? But I don't understand, if we don't interact with it, how do you ratio it?
How can you ratio it when they're getting rid of the ratios? They're erasing the dislike buttons now.
Right.
They may take that option off the table altogether,
which is ridiculous.
I think we should hire Chung Lee, since she is everywhere and in everything, and she should beat up Twitter for us. I think that's what we should do.
That leg kick.
What I was going to say.
Go ahead.
Jayne's theory is that what Jayne was saying was that also needs to apply when the people publicly, and I'm dead serious, they publicly go on campaigns to deplatform you.
Right.
They announce it publicly. Matt Six is in the chat.
Yep.
He brings up CG. He brings up this situation. It brings me up, and I feel like that needs to be a record. What we saw with Tom King when he went after Jay Lee, labeling CG as a hate group because he did artwork for Ethan, and thinking that he could just brush under the rug, and he got immense backlash for it because at the time Jay Lee and his wife was mourning the loss of his puppy. When all these attacks, all these accusations went out against him, there needs to be a record on that. And I want to add one more thing on here before we move on to the next thing, is that we're seeing the one positive thing is that there is some repercussions to this kind of behavior. So for me, you probably not know the name Heather Antos.
Oh, God, the one that sleeps at all her desks? Yes, I know who she is.
No, former editor.
She's at Image now, isn't she?
She at Image because she got denied.
DC.
She got denied applying for DC. Jim Lee came out and said, no, we're not hiring her because after what she did, because after what happened to Tom King, after what Tom King did to Jay Lee, and her coming out and constantly saying that Jay Lee needs to be held accountable and not apologizing for it. So the fact that she got denied a job at DC just for that, it shows. It's like this kind of behavior is not going to get you as far as you think it is.
It's
gets not you one last long either.
Macney, though, it will get you one place. The more people that see how you actually are and the way you act on Twitter, even if no one engages it, it's like what Gary says, what Nerdrotic says with YouTube. Just because you don't see anyone commenting in your chat doesn't mean anyone's not watching.
Exactly.
There's always someone watching a Twitter.
I have a point to make about the ratio argument. Even if they did remove the dislike button, have you guys considered that? We'll look at a video. We'll see if it's gotten X number of views. If it's only got a certain amount of likes, we'll still be able to tell whether or not it's ratioed, right? I mean, to a certain extent, being able to see the dislike button is great because we can see, okay, it's 7 times more than the likes. But even still, I think we'll be able to tell, even if they hide that. I think it's not going to. Yeah, we'll be able to tell.
Is right there. You're absolutely right. The ratio of likes to views.
Yeah, and even more so, Nick, to add to that, the comments are going to be golden. Because if they are removing it for a company like Disney or for the White House, you're still going to be able to see the comments because people are not going to withhold their bile, right? Their animosity. They will comment the hell out of the video. They will tell you right up front, this is garbage, this is trash. And we don't believe you, or whatever the other things, anecdotally might reside there. Maybe it's a quote from the Forbes article about, what happened with Gina Carano and the lack of leadership, or perhaps it's a quote from Gina Carano herself talking about, that you can tell lies about me, but I can tell the truth about you.
Yeah,
and it's all these, So you're going to still see it. You're not wrong. And there you are. And this kind of shit.
This is my favorite tweet of the year so far because if you actually read all the phobics they listed, some of them aren't even real.
No, those are all real.
Retardophobic?
Wait, you're
anti-intellectual phobic.
Wait a minute, let me ask Mad.
Anti-intellectual.
And I also want to.
Hold on, real quick. Mad Mardigan is retardophobic. Something in the South, or
no? It is real. I'm not for it. Like I am not a.
Yeah, we do not hate.
Not a retardophobe.
But no, that's real. Yeah, like it's the most insensitive and like dumb way to try to get across.
Mad Mardigan doesn't kink shame. I'm just letting you guys know that.
Yeah.
No.
And for you, Culture.
Makini, why don't you finish your what you were going to say?
And I want to add on kind of what Jayne, to continue on what Jayne was saying. That also needs to be applied to people who go after others, but then when they get the blowback, they want to act like they want to pretend that they want to say that they got doxxed, threatened, and harassed, which we condone, which every single person condones, period. But they want to. A good example is that one Twitch streamer, which I will not name, and Jeremy of the Quartering. Yeah. And Jeremy of the Quartering, who basically made accusations that she got not only she got doxxed, but she got swatted. Jeremy had to come out and because it was a targeted campaign to take him down, and Jeremy was willing, and I know Jeremy was willing to go to court for that.
Well, he has the half Asian.
I have that somewhere. Let me find it for you.
Okay, Jayne, what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say, I agree. People should not be doxxed. But if anybody ever tries to defame me, they're getting doxxed. That's the least of their worries.
Yeah. I mean, you got to do what you got to do to fight back.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to try to ruin my life, the law is going to get involved.
Play that game.
Exactly.
Let's take rewriting Ripley back a sec for this one. Remember when they started claiming they got doxxed when their little author's name and stuff was everywhere on the internet because they're stupid?
Right. That was fantastic, actually.
No, that's because victimhood.
Yeah.
Mads,
finish that statement.
That's because victimhood is a currency. I know we were talking about the campaigning or whatever being currency, but victimhood is so far more valuable when it comes to on-site, online space. If you can say that, oh no, I'm according to intersectionality, I rank at 13 because I took the test on BuzzFeed and it says that I don't have white privilege. So there.
Wait, real quick.
So it also told you were Snape, the wizard, as well, right? Because you found out you were in the Gryffindor house too, right?
I split screened it. Yeah, Snape. I'm a House of Dorfin. I don't know.
How racist are you in the House of Hogwarts?
Well, let me ask you that. Well, we can find that out. Let me ask you this though: what is the term for somebody who not like they poison their own child so they get sympathy? That's what these people are like.
Woman.
Lack of sandwiches.
There's an actual term for
retardophobic, I think.
That might be it. That might be
anti-intellectual phobic.
Someone look that up. There's a term for it.
How to poison my kids? I'm not looking that up. That's weird.
Is that Munchausen? I think you might be right.
Is it Munchausen syndrome?
Something like that, where you poison your own child and keep them sick. So people
I think that was called the Sixth Sense.
Yeah, Matt Barr says it. Munchausen. I need to have Matt. I need to have you on the channel, dude. I got your email, I believe. So we'll get together.
It's called Munchausen's by proxy, which means that you are doing that
to somebody else
through a proxy, through a child or whatnot. Somebody that you're supposed to be caregiving.
But Munchausen would be towards yourself. You would be hurting yourself just to get sympathy. Is that what that is then?
I think so.
I think Snacks and Comics says yes. So I'm going with that. Gesundheit. Okay.
Despite what people may think, a lot of us do not speak German.
Yeah. Can we get that across? Because that's kind of an thing to say.
We're not diverse enough. We're not diverse.
Yeah, easy with that German shit for a minute.
We can see Deutsch.
Nicht sprechen Deutsch?
It's not
We
all
can
the
see
Germans.
Deutsch.
Okay, Etep, it wasn't all.
Scheisse
Nine Lipschen.
Night. All right, Marvel.
Why has no one quoted Rammstein yet? I'm just waiting for that part. Like, you
This
have
is
me.
not 1997.
Well, people usually do that for German.
Wait a minute. I'm a Firestarter. Oh, wrong one.
That's Prodigy.
Yeah,
Prodigy.
Marvel.
Lied.
Well, he said 1997. I went with it. Marvel introduces a new black female Captain America.
She's self-inserted. She's self-inserted.
This is super stunning and super brave.
Yes.
Look at her hair. It looks like silly. It looks like silly string and Twizzlers.
Jayne?
It does. It looks like pull and peel.
Well, let's not make fun of her hair.
The actor, the creator for this is actually a Spanish person. He's not even American.
Oh no!
Is that like an Aziz Ansari situation? Are they gonna have to? Oh no, it's Hank Azaria.
Hank Azaria,
He's got to apologize.
Yeah, is there any extra genders or special
all right,
types
time
of
out.
gay?
Time out. Everybody, take a second. Stephen Walton, what about being gay?
Oh, I just want to know if there was any extra genders going on here, any special types of gay.
Thought you were coming out. Okay.
Because he's the expert on that, right, Scott?
Yeah, I think he's asking for their rank in intersectionality. Like, where's this person rank? Is it like a, like a 13, like a 12?
Oh,
last.
Okay, last. Jayne, let me ask you, because I saw your reaction when we first saw this. Why does this upset you?
Because she looks terrible. I mean, before you even get to the story, look at how she's drawn.
Why don't we take a look?
So this doesn't make you feel empowered?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Is this Octavia Spencer from Thunder Force?
And then, okay, so this is one of the characters they created in this United States of America, Captain America thing, where basically every city has their own Captain America because something's happening with Steve Rogers. Okay, fine. But they've gone and created this character who is, surprise, surprise, accused of stealing his shield.
Oh God, are you serious?
It's terrible. And how many times do we have to see this? This is like Batwoman all over again.
So you're telling me that she stole the shield?
Yeah.
This is what she's accused of. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, let's read a little bit. Why don't we?
I mean, did they prove that she didn't?
Nick, what do you got?
I have a question when I see this. And it's the same thing I have with the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Does Captain America love America? Or does Captain America have an identity crisis going on with America?
Nick,
that's what I want to know from this.
Okay, no, let me go.
Question.
Let me do
okay,
this.
Makani, take it, brother. It's your show.
All right, Nick. The current writer of Captain America is Ta-Nehisi Coates. He is a character that hates. He is a writer that hates his own country. He hates America. He is very anti-American. I'm not going to go into too many details, but he is a very anti-American person who's writing one of the biggest symbols of America.
Right. And Red Gaze says it for $5. Red, you don't have to do that. That's not a black female. That's a shaved dwarf.
Wow.
That's a cousin of Stephen Walton.
Also,
exactly. That's my point. Is they continue to make them look terrible. Why does she look like this? Why is her hair like that?
She looks terrible.
It's like the Wonder Woman.
She looks like a man.
And to Nick's statement earlier, you're not completely far off, because one of the things I was bringing up with the, seeing with the comic book industry is that you can't deny that there are hints of segregation where you have to be of this skin color, of this skin tone, of this sexuality to write, or even it goes as far as even draw the character you're working with.
Here's the problem with that. This character is drawn by someone who does not look like this. That's part of the problem. That's part of the problem I have with it. The creator is not American. She's not a dark-skinned black woman. And yet, like everybody else we've seen create these characters poorly, she followed in the exact same vein under the guise of being, I guess, pro-black or whatever. But what she's done is simply recreated an ongoing, consistent historical stereotype. And not for one instant.
Here she is, if you actually want it, because you can later on see.
I didn't know that this Captain America was black. Is she black? I thought she was Puerto Rican.
I thought so too, but they're saying she's a black female.
It's an ongoing thing. That's what
Like
James
she's
bringing up.
socially black.
Like, where is she on the scale?
This is the creator. She's Spanish. I don't know if she's biracial or what, but she's not a black American. She's clearly not a dark-skinned black woman. She's not represented by this character that she created. That's why
isn't that what we're supposed to do now, though? You
Yeah,
have to represent what you're writing, correct? That is the rule book they gave us. That's the rule book they gave us.
That's their own bullshit, and that's why you end up with self-inserts like that.
Exactly.
It's because I understand she's not exactly the way she's supposed to be, Jayne, but I mean, clearly she takes her inspiration from herself, which is what all these people do.
She
You don't
doesn't.
think so?
She
I thought so.
absolutely does not. You have to understand what's happening too in the context of colorism within the Black community.
Okay, right.
So you have this situation where, in some instances, lighter skinned, quote unquote, Black people and biracials can be just as racist, if not more so, than the most racist white person you've ever seen.
Really?
That's why you see people perpetuate these same stereotypes when it's completely unrelated to them. This is not her. And that's why she doesn't care what she looks like.
Right.
True. Yeah, the eyebrows are horrible on this one.
The whole thing is terrible.
She looks like, I'm sorry, but she looks like her pronoun would be he, her, he, him.
Have you looked through all the variant covers though, Jayne?
At least Zer.
It just gets worse from here.
Yeah. It's bad.
All right, well, let's read a little bit and we'll get back to
they may
this.
have another one further down the article.
Yeah, so the United States of Captain America #2 introduces Michelle. So Michail, right? Nichelle?
Yes.
Right. As a new
Michail.
black wow, you're the one telling me how to say things. The world sucks. As a new black female Captain America created by Michail Mashigoe
Yeah,
and
can't pronounce that one either.
yeah, Natasha Bustos.
The first one was Maher Mogadishu.
Thanks, man.
Maher
standard.
Are you sure?
Black
Just say
names.
Maher
Moher.
Mogadishu.
Okay.
Maher Mogadishu sounds better.
What were you saying, Matt?
I was just saying the standard, like a Black American names.
Yeah, it fits right in there. A new black female Captain America will make her debut in July. The United States of Captain America #2. What was her name again?
Michelle.
Nichelle Wright is the next young hero to pick up the mantle of Captain America.
Yeah.
In the second issue of the miniseries celebrating the Centennial of Liberty's 80th anniversary, created by those two people, Nichelle joins the teenage LGBTQ plus hero.
Knew it.
Aaron Fisher as a local captain in the United States of Captain America.
He's the one who has the trash can as a shield.
He's the one who's fighting for the homeless. He's the homeless one.
Yeah, she's the one that hangs out down by the rail. He hangs down by the railroad. Yeah,
Right.
he's protecting the
hobos
homeless
on the train.
Yes,
yeah,
he
the
fights
homeless
for
and the
hobos.
LGBTQ, I believe. Yes, and he
Yes.
has like the commie star on him, I believe, as well.
Yeah, just
Something to that effect.
It's absolutely insulting.
Yeah.
If you really think about it, it's actually insulting.
It is insulting. Look, I understand. Look, I actually am one of the only people I know that likes the Captain America or the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I think this last episode really pushed some of my feelings about it. The idea that the idea that a black man couldn't be Captain America, no respecting black man.
Right.
Yeah, that really hit me kind of hard. I understand why that character said it, because of what he's been through. But the idea that Captain America is being turned into a symbol of, let's find out every diversity we can find, because the white blue-eyed male is not the correct way to go. And I think that's wrong. Steve Rogers never gave you a reason to believe he wasn't fighting for you. Steve Rogers never did that and I'm talking MCU right now. Steve Rogers, when he felt like in the comics that he wasn't Captain America anymore, dropped the shield. He did it in the MCU too. He didn't feel like he was worthy anymore. But you're talking about a man who is the epitome of what it means to be an American. And maybe it is the white American story, but he fought for everybody.
And he had a little green in his eyes. So this whole blue eye blinded,
speckles of green. Right, you're right.
So boom, there goes that theory.
I think the thing for me is Captain America. Whenever I enjoyed any of the comics or anything when I was a kid, I was never thinking about. It was never about his skin color, and it was never about his sexual preferences. But every time that you select a minority character, it's always got to be about those two things. Those two things have always got to be woven through the story to where it's always about that. And with Captain America, it was about something different. It was never about his race or his sexual preferences.
Principle.
But they're so obsessed with race and sexual preferences with every one of these. No one cared that Miles Morales became the new Spider-Man. He was really cool.
Yeah.
And now they're turning every character every time they make a new character with a new race, even if they're rebranding a character like Captain America, they've always got to make it about the race and about the sexual preference.
Right.
And
Who cares?
To make it a walking, talking stereotype. I mean, I have issues with Miles Morales as well. It's like they always have to have some sort of struggle background. They can't just be normal. It's always about some hardship they're overcoming.
But can
just be happy and heroic?
Can you imagine that though? If you got saved by Batman and all of a sudden you hear, "Yo, I really like to fuck other dudes, but I'm glad I saved you."
Well, hold on. Like, I need to push back a little bit on that.
Well, he was pushing in, so you got to push back.
Yeah. Hold on. Well, hold on. I need to throw it back.
It was a back thrust.
All right,
I need to throw it back.
Matt is up.
Yeah, so no, they're the coming over adversity has always played a huge part. If you look at Daredevil, Batman, and everybody but Superman, because he's just white bread, nobody gives a shit. He's so boring.
But stereotypical overcomings?
Well, no. See, so that's the difference then, right? It's not what they are trying to portray; it's how they're portraying it. Portraying someone coming over adversity and becoming a better person isn't new, and
it's a hero's journey. It's
exactly
gone back to centuries.
Joseph Campbell, but doing it.
What's the name of that baseball player you were talking about today?
Rube Waddell, one of the greatest baseball players to ever live. Why do you throw me off like that? Now all I can think about is Rube.
Keep going.
Anyways, I don't know where I was.
That was a great story.
Good job.
Good job. But no, you have
why do they always have to have the same story?
Right. It's always daddy left, abusive relationship, or drug dealing, or they have to steal. It's bullshit. Because you know what the problem is? These people that say they're progressive and they're the symbol of what America should be turn out to be some of the most racist people you're ever going to meet, because they always, like black people can't use a computer and get a license. It's the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
The president said it himself. That's true.
Yes.
Though.
But the thing is, they're in the one lane of an ideology, one lane of a road for an agenda. And the problem is with that, they've narrowed their imagination to such a point that they can't see past that one road. So that's why the same trope keeps coming and coming and coming. And I'm just saying coming twice because some people do come twice. But
no, they don't. That's on movies.
You don't come twice. That's your problem.
I don't. But no,
it's at the point where there's no imagination, and it's now affecting the comics. So all they can do is pull from the political real world, pull from the real reality, and then adapt it lazily as possible. And then it's even now affecting the art, where everything's looking like Steven Universe just ate a whole cheesecake and is now telling someone else on the Cartoon Network Batman, that everything's going to be okay because I just did that other dude. That's pretty much any storyline.
Incapability.
They're not even just pulling it straight from the real world, though. They're pulling a small segment of the population's experience.
Tiny.
They act as if I'm just going to say this. They cannot write black characters well. They've never been able to.
Yeah. Well, they don't have enough black friends, right?
They don't. I have 3. They don't. It's not that they
cardboard cutouts.
Hopefully 4 after this. They don't necessarily. It's not that they don't have any imagination. Not necessarily. It's more that they start from a point of politics,
agenda,
right? And they paint themselves into a corner just immediately, because now they have to try to structure a story around what they believe and what they want people.
What was that football player's name?
Stories suck, Matt. I didn't mean to interrupt you, but that's why those stories suck.
Yes,
yeah,
because they have nowhere to go. You've limited this character to such a tiny little set of boxes that what story are you going to tell?
So
this is the shit I live in.
It's a black woman. She has to be strong. She has to be a criminal, and she has to be angry.
But look at even Children of the Atom now, where they have that love triangle with the gimmick, aka the Gambit ripoff, who throws kinetic pins out of a pin cushion, who's in love with the female Cyclops, who's dating someone else on the team. It's even there too. They don't do anything else but make it look like a very bad Spanish soap opera. But they're not doing anything else but sitting at that Starbucks talking about how much they love the other person on the X-Men team while the rest of the world is burning down.
Elaine and I were just talking. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Jay.
no, go Nick, please.
Oh, so Elaine and I were just talking about this. We're watching the Blacklist right now. We're in the last season.
I love that show.
Of the Blacklist, and Elizabeth Keene is like the most hated character in that show currently. And I checked Reddit boards, and it is. Like people on Reddit, everyone hates her because she fits the same kind of new female hero stereotype that that Ray did, and all these. Every time they introduce a strong female character, they just introduce a new character as well, who's the same kind of person. And they're never compassionate. They're always cold. They always have RBF. For some reason, they always have RBF. Right? They're always super. Unlikable. They're just bitchy. I'm sorry. That's what they are. They're terrible.
What's RBF?
Nick is using initials for resting bitch face.
Oh, I was thinking of RBF.
It's resting birch face. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, so they always have that. They always have this. They're so one-dimensional. Think Captain Marvel. Think Rey Skywalker. Think there's never any compassion to them. They never play to their strengths. Like Elaine says, they're always Karens. And that is what they're like. Young girls need to see this, and they need to see someone like them to aspire. Well, they don't need to be seeing Karens to aspire to. Thank you. They need to be seeing Ripley's. They need to be seeing the original Leia. They need to be seeing those kinds of characters to know that even though Leia was strong in certain scenes, she was soft in other scenes. I mean, look at half the scenes in Empire Strikes Back where she's like, Han's making the moves on her. She's totally falling for it, right? So. Yeah. You've got to have that, and they can't get it. They never get. I mean, Jayne's coming. Obviously, she's speaking from perspective, a wonderful perspective. But then they can't even get the female part right of this. Like, females are more complex than what you paint them to be. Just like black people are more complex than what you paint them to be as well.
Right. And that's what I'm trying to get back to. These people say that they're progressive, but the truth is they use stereotypes and they don't even realize how racist they're being and sexist they're being. And I'm so sick of this.
Racist.
Well, Scott,
that's why they changed the definition of racism. They can't be racist because they don't have the power.
But it's not even that, Matt. It's not even that. Oh, shit. It's not even that. They're at the point where they can't distinguish between a stereotype and racism, so they just think they're both the same. When you make a stereotypical joke, let's say like a fried chicken joke, right? Most people understand the stereotype, laugh at it, and sometimes they'll get uncomfortable depending on how fringe it is. But if you say with these types of people, they actually think you're being racist because they don't understand the difference between these two words. That's how convoluted it's become. They're stupid. They're just stupid. They have no skill, they have no quality in the writing, and I'm going to say it, they're stupid.
Right.
It shows. When was the last time you picked up a comic book and enjoyed it in the last, let's say, 5 years?
Yeah.
They can't even draw.
No, they can draw, but tracing.
She looks terrible. She
looks like a dude.
She does.
All right,
I have an urge for licorice.
I want to read. I know, right? I want to read a little bit more, and then we're going to ask. I want Makini to jump in. The thing I can say about Nichelle is that she is working day and night to bring change into a world where she feels defeated.
Why does she feel defeated?
Well, that's what we're going to find out. Nichelle is a light in a dark time.
Not enough black friends.
Right, exactly. And she wants to take ownership of her community and space in America. There are very few occasions. Wait a minute, we're coming on to it. Let's see what they got to say here. And then there are very few occasions when you have the opportunity to contribute to the creation of a character as genuine and powerful as Nichelle. Genuine.
Playing the victim doesn't make you powerful character.
Well, she is undoubtedly one of the characters that I am most proud to have designed for all that she represents and what she means for the community. Which community?
I think it's a community of bullshit.
Well, who does she represent?
It's a community that they think they represent, but that community...
She looks better here.
She looks better than you.
Yeah. That community
That's not her cover, though.
These books.
Right,
that community is not buying these books.
Right.
I think they should be less like invested in the whole representing community and more interested in representing yourself. You know what I mean? It's the lack of individuality. You know what I mean? Don't worry about who you represent. Worry about how you represent yourself.
Well, that's why I'm going to start my own comic one of these days soon, and I'm going to write about this little guy right here, my avatar. And he's going to fight all these different stereotypes. That is what he's going to take down, and it's going to get ugly. That's all I'm saying.
Privilege?
He's using his Yes, exactly.
I think you should call it Robo Force. So in honor of the voice under your mic for God knows how long.
Why is he rubbing his ass on that spork?
He's using the power of his ass to fight evil. That's what he's doing. He's using.
He just has it behind him. That's
he's
all
rubbing his ass on it.
You know what? You ask Katie that question next time you see her.
I have a serious question about this cover though. She's supposed to be a role model for strong females. Why is she standing up on the back of a motorcycle?
Driven by a white
They're
man.
not wearing masks. Secondly, they're not practicing social distancing.
No.
She's pretending she's an acrobat on the back of a motorcycle. And why does Steve Rogers look like his eyes are rolling in the back of his head?
He looks like he's melting. Yeah, the artwork is not that great, actually.
Well, that's how fast they're going,
is
bro.
total dog shit.
It is horrible. Look at that. What is she wearing? A jacket with a leotard?
That's McDonald's body.
That's so 80s.
It's Walmart Wonder Woman all over.
That thigh gap that she's got, she could birth an elephant. Holy shit.
Or crush your head.
Or a watermelon. I think that's what she does during the day on YouTube before she fights crime.
And what is she wearing? Like used boots? Because
boots?
She can't afford real boots.
Why can't she afford 2 legs? Why can't she afford 2 stockings? That's all I want to know.
Well,
is she wearing one
gets
stocking?
worse. It gets worse. Look at the costume below. With the hood.
No, hold on. We got to get to the leg thing because the leg thing I get. You know what I mean? If you've ever played NBA 2K or seen a game, you can put like the single leg sleeve or the single arm sleeve.
Got an injury.
I get that, right? So obviously she watches, the NBA or WNBA. And the boots thing, like, is cool. It's hip not to have your shoes tied.
I think Matt is giving us a subliminal message. I think he's trying to tell all of us here that he's addicted to loot boxes. He's talking about
he's hot for this chick. Well, dude, he used to open boxes from like Bespoke or some shit.
Yeah, they broke when he opened them. He would break everything that came out of it.
Okay,
well, no, I stopped when they sent me broken glass. I was like, all right, Bespoke.
You don't have to be lonely.
Did they label it candy?
Benjafilia.com. Walton. I want to ask Makini. Do you have anything you want to put in with this conversation?
I got plenty.
All right, why don't you open the door? I'll mute, maybe get a drink, take a leak, whatever, because I know you got a little bit to go.
Before Makini starts, I have one question. Where are her breasts? Where did they go?
Not all women have tremendous breasts, though. I mean, seriously.
That's not, no. Like, but at least there should have been some type of curvature
Well, in
here.
the
But
middle-
look at each picture.
the middle
It goes
one
from
has.
flat to middle, then flat. So what? Halfway through costume change, her tits fell off. What's going on here?
Okay, valid point. There should at least be designed, even if they're little supple ones, designed right. Yeah,
I did not.
Like, there's
care
no
for
way
that.
a jacket flattens them that far.
supple.
I
right,
don't care for that.
Makini, go ahead. buddy.
Supple.
Okay. So, where do I start? Pretty much everything you guys have just said, and that was one redesign that I saw earlier on Twitter as well. That's a really good one. Staying true to the kind of the original look. There was also one that Anna, that Star Wars girl, did, and of course, like freaking clockwork, she gets attacked for it. Every single time she does every single time she does kind of like a redraw or a fix, she gets attacked for it. Now,
well, they get offended when you fix or redo their work.
Now, and I want to say no. That's yes, exactly. But I want to be fair.
I gotta turn off.
But I want to be fair. I can understand complaints if you're just drawing over someone else's picture. I can understand because that can be it's a lot better if you did it your own version versus trying to do it over somebody else's
quick.
picture. I'm not
real quick,
insinuating
Maki, real quick. Hold on, real quick. The reason why people get mad at Anna, let's just put it out there. I don't think enough people say
talented.
it. She's talented. She's good looking. She's funny. She's a strong-willed woman that doesn't put up with shit. Exactly, and that's why people hate her. They hate her because she's pretty and they're not. They hate her because she's strong and they're not. They hate her because she's talented and they're not. Let's just say what it is. These people are freaking jealous of her, and let's just get over with it. The girl has talent. If you don't like what she's drawing, that's one thing. When you attack her personally because of it, though, you're a douche.
Well, and she's a strong and powerful woman, and Xevious did an excellent job here in this.
This is gorgeous.
Yeah, I look at what the artists in our community, like Machini90 and so many others, can do with these characters and go, this is art. And the shit that you're putting out there, this Cal Arts bullshit that a 10-year-old in a beginning art class is putting together, isn't.
Right.
You often try to tell us to do
Machini,
better.
You got the floor. Don't worry. He let him finish.
No, thank you, Culture. Thank you for bringing that up. No, but I want to say I'm not making any before the game can't come at me. I love Hannah. I absolutely love her stuff. I'm not making any assumption that she drew over it. I did because that she was asked to do it. She explained it. She explained it in the tweet. So I'm just saying I can understand the complaints that if you're drawing over somebody else's art because
I can
understand
Here's
that.
the thing, though. I do it all the time, and I don't care because if you make a bad looking character, I'm going to tweak it a little bit for myself and for my own enjoyment, and I'm going to post it on my page. If you don't like it, don't look.
And the thing is, you see it as a way to have fun with it, and I thought about doing it as well. But let me continue with where I deal with this.
Machini, I hate to bug you quickly, but Scott, can you share this? I want to show like I want to get a reference of what the Natasha person does for their actual comic. If you can share that quickly.
Yep.
This is her actual style. Now, this is Silver Surfer. That's Silver Surfer. That looks like, and that's Galactus. This is her. Yeah, this is hers. This is her artwork. This is her stuff, right? This is the Moon Girl stuff. Galactus looks like he got attacked by a yellow highlighter. Why does Silver Surfer like he escaped the Blue Man Group?
He does.
Now, this is what I'm trying to say. Like, they're given these properties like Captain America, like even doing stuff that's related, but this is their background.
Rest in peace, Blue Man Group.
Rest in peace, Silver Surfer. Like, he looks like he's like, where is my? Look at his face. Look at the body.
Yeah, that's terrible.
But I would say this would be fine for a children's, like a small,
But I don't think it is.
Maybe early elementary school comic or something.
Yeah,
that would be fine. So then, if that's what she does, cool. Why is she doing this?
That's exactly my point. How did she go from? Yeah, I'm sorry. Like, because this is also supposed to be an adaptation of Moon Boy, if I'm right about this, right?
Could it have something to do with having the correct ideology instead of talent?
But why is he yellow?
Because she sucks. All right, back to the hot one.
Okay,
I can't even look at that, Steven. That's terrible.
I like that.
No, go ahead, Maki.
Everything,
guys,
like,
don't interrupt.
I feel like there's not much. Really, to be honest, there's not. Only reason I want to talk about this because I want to just bring up that whole other situation with Anna because it happens time and time again. Because it happens every time, and I notice it. I see it get trending. People get complaints about it, and I do feel like everything you guys have said is pretty much spot on. I can't really say much. I can't really add much to it. But here's what I want to add. Jayne brings up every great point about with Black characters. How they're treated, how they're handled. We see it time and time again. You're hitting those stereotypes. They act like victims. You want to throw race in it in every single way. Instead of just writing them as characters. They don't have to be, race doesn't ever have to be a feature with Black character. And another thing I want to bring up, I don't give a fuck what people say about this. Is like, listen, you want to push a Black character, you want to make a Black character, that's fine. But you don't have to. But comics are a visual medium. There's nothing wrong with making a Black character look attractive because Black women are attractive.
Oh yeah, they are.
Yeah,
because you can
I
pull
can get
this
behind
off.
that.
You can pull this. You can pull that look off. That look can be pulled off, like what we just see here. And the thing is that I get it. It's that this is their character. This is the character that they want to own. So whenever somebody does like a redraw, somebody tampers with something that they, the Twitter mobs, the Rades, the leftists, whatever you want to call them, this is something they want to happily champion and push forward. Even though in reality they don't do shit. They just program out about it on Twitter for like a day and then forget about it the day afterwards. Bottom line is, I get it because it's their character. They want to take it their character, and that's why they're throwing a fit about it. And they also throw a fit about people who are not of the same skin color, who are not of the same skin tone, writing or drawing more lines writing black characters, and especially black female characters. I've seen it. I've seen people get outraged over that. I've seen videos of people get outraged over that. And I can tell you this. From what I feel, for what I'm seeing in the design, it's fine, but the intentions are not. But the intentions are the problem.
Well, Makini, let me ask you this. Well, let me ask you this. I understand the idea, a black writer writing for a black character, and I'm actually fine with that. But let's get someone with talent that actually can do it. Let's get somebody who actually cares about the character or creates a character of their own. That would be awesome. Like, why can't we have that instead of rehashing characters?
It's funny you should say that.
And having crappy
art. You should say that, Scott, because I did that exact thing.
Boom.
Can you share my screen?
Yeah, where are you? Your actual screen?
Right
this
here.
One?
Culture. Okay. Culture knows who this character is. She's gained a little bit of a following for this one.
Oprah.
Nope.
Oh, okay, I was out.
Bubblegum.
Oh,
I like bubblegum.
Bubblegum.
I have drawn. It just started as a simple drawing, and yet I just did it. Dude, I just kept doing it over and over again. You write a compelling. You can. It's almost like these images alone can probably say a lot about her character and a lot about the intention behind it, more than what you're seeing there. I get that the artist is I get that whoever's putting it this way, they're probably having fun with this. But it's like, listen, have fun with it. If you're gonna do a black female character, if you're gonna do black characters at all, have fun with it. Make it, stand them out, flesh them out. You don't have to limit them to You don't have to limit them to these stereotypes, because they end up becoming better characters because of that.
Go back to what. Real quick, go back to what Culture said. At least if you're going to do the character, look how beautifully you did that. All the detail you put in, and then you look at this. It is a quick, rushed, crappy look at a character. Like, you go up to this one, like, what effort did you put in to make this dude?
And remember, I mean, when you're putting a character together, you put together, what's a technical term? I used to call it a one sheet, but it basically gives you a perspective of the character from all angles so that you can continually refer to it when you reproduce the character and doing scenes. What's it called?
Wikipedia.
A character sheet.
Character sheet. Okay, yeah, I used to call it a one sheet. But the idea there is it's fleshed out. When Makini built his character, if you go back and look at what Makini did, she's doing all kinds of stuff. He doesn't. Not only that, the character's in his mind forever. But another artist could take a look at everything that Makini's put together, and they could reproduce it, or at least come close, so that it's a quality representation of this. And it would retain all the detail. With what this person has drawn here and is presented to the audience, it's so simplistic that it begs you to add detail. Mm-hmm. And so, as if you're a legitimate artist, you're struggling to keep it with just these base lines that are presented there. At least in my opinion. I mean, I like multiplanar, dimensional animation. So when I see quality artwork where it definitely took somebody hours because they were creating in dimension something that would be represented in 2D, that's substantial to me. And that's the effort that Makini uses, and Nerium, and so many others that are in our
community. Can you blow up my screen for a moment?
Of course.
Yeah. There you go.
I was doing this. I was doing this on the last stream the whole time. You were watching. If you were paying attention to my screen, I was doing this the whole time.
Yeah.
And yet, I was able to convey a lot more.
Absolutely.
With just this one page. Here's the thing.
It's a Steven. Sorry.
Oh, you see what I'm sketching? This is ideas I'm fleshing out for hopefully a book that I would someday want to put together.
I hope that you put that book together.
I see that you use a mechanical pencil.
Yes.
That caught my attention.
Yeah, but it's just his pencil.
Wait. Can she drive that car though? Because that's
Yes.
going against the stereotypes
Yes.
that people will yell at you later for. So
Yes. I'm even going further, fleshing out other characters as well in my head as well while I'm talking to you guys.
Yeah,
So
and when
it's
you
not a
look at
manual,
what he's
it's
doing,
automatic.
no, this is just pencil.
No, it's a manual.
Yeah. When this is just pencil work, then he does the next step, and then he does the next step. It is a multi-layered process that Makini does, right? And every other true artist that does this type of work, it's a multi-layered process. And I have to say, anybody who can do this, because I cannot draw at all. I can do a linear drawing. I can do an engineered drawing for you. I can lay out a house. I can do all the basic things when it comes to that. I can't do this, and I'm okay with it. But I can't do this.
I can't.
Am I the only one freaked out that we're on the right-hand side and not the left?
I messed with y'all. I know. Just stick with it.
How did you do
that?
that?
Yeah, I don't feel comfortable with this.
No,
Hey,
and
yeah,
the thing is, you have a great, you have an incredible talent.
Thank you.
Matt Six Bar in the chat. He's doing his book Rock and Roll Ninja, and he's shown pages last weekend. That stuff was incredible.
Right,
Scott, you have an incredible talent.
Thank you.
Screw
Thank
everything
you,
up.
Thanks, Nick.
Yeah. Yes. You make everybody else feel like they are YouTube gods.
That's my whole plan.
You make me feel like I can really do it here. Like I can really make it work. If Scott can do it, then boy, I know everybody could.
Yeah, it kind of pisses me off. Like,
Literally
how
nobody-
do I only have
nobody can
235
fail.
subscribers? Like,
That just goes to
yeah.
show how much you suck.
must
But
be
you know what?
trying.
You guys are going to make it. You guys are going to make it.
To
You
drive
just
my
gotta snip.
endpoint- to drive my endpoint across. Listen, if you want to do a black character, fine, do it. But you can do better than that.
Right.
You can show there needs to be a motivation, a personal motivation that don't be satisfied with just that. Go further.
Yeah.
No,
Don't-
how about
don't
just
like,
forget the character's black? Take Ray's
Forget it.
out,
Right.
and then
Right.
just draw her like a normal character.
what they need to
And
stop
don't-
doing
and
is
the
living in
problem
a.
is- But the problem is that you're confined to Marvel and DC, whatever the big two, whatever your companies are. So and at sometimes it's a mandate. They can't go further. They can't like go what's comfortable for them or what will actually work, what's really appealing, because it's backed by it. And plus I've heard stuff of people who are afraid to draw women who look like women on the pages within who work in the big two because they're going to get attacked.
Well, I just want you to show you Red Gaze is not afraid to draw a woman being a woman. This is Red Gaze's rendition.
That's wonderful.
That's impressive, right?
Is this after he hit himself with the car
High
tonight?
art. Yeah, it's most certainly is.
It could be. It could be, but that's red.
Is that a tattoo?
Yeah.
That's the star. It's Captain America, guys.
It's Captain
Come on.
Wait, wait, can you rotate it so it looks like
butt cheeks?
No,
You know what?
like tits.
Enhance, dude. Enhance.
Okay,
Does one have a growth?
As Steve Rogers said, he said his ass was America's ass.
Yes.
Yeah,
What would
it is
these
America's
be?
ass.
Hey, we all saw from his accidental share on Instagram Captain America's penis.
That's true.
No, we did not all see that.
Maybe you did.
I didn't see
Culture.
America's
What
penis.
the?
And Ray Park did the same thing.
No,
I didn't see that one either.
That was a Gagus. That's what
That was just a Gagus.
Yeah.
What are we?
Yeah.
What? Gagus again?
So there's
Okay.
one.
So yeah, go ahead,
Sorry,
Nick.
Scott.
No, please.
Yeah, there's one phrase in this article that I think gives it all away, which is that she is genuine and powerful. That's the thing. She's powerful. Okay, all superheroes are powerful to an extent, but the quality they define is that she's genuine. Well, genuinely what? Someone could be genuinely an a-hole
Mhm.
And is that an admirable quality? Yeah, I'm glad that they're honest about being an a-hole. I guess, but that's all female characters that they make are genuinely something.
And here's the
Captain
thing.
Marvel, Brie Larson's Captain Marvel is genuinely something, but I don't admire her for being
Iconic.
genuinely bad. It's
And here's
it goes back to. Go ahead.
Sorry, add on to what Nick was saying. I'm so sorry if I'm interrupting. It goes into the whole, like, you have this Black female who's always going to be oppressed, always going to be the victim. How do you counter that? By make her basically a Mary Sue, someone who's the best at everything.
Well, what we call is a magic Negro. That's basically
Captain Karen.
my
is the right
goodness.
version.
Yeah, like the Legend of
can't say
Bagger
that.
Vance.
Yep.
Or
Yeah, I won't ever say
Hancock.
that.
The Legend of Bagger Vance is one of my favorite films. Don't ruin
Yeah,
that for me.
but it has a person that Jayne said earlier that I'm not going to say on a stream.
But he's
That's why
God.
we're here.
A magician?
God.
It's just stupid. They just don't know what to
It's just-
do.
it's just-
and
You didn't
It's
like
just-
Bagger Vance?
I like Bagger Vance.
I like bags.
Come on, Bagger, let's help him out. He sounds like Mad when he was
I knew a
young.
guy named Vance.
It just,
Were you the kid in that movie, Matt?
I'm not from Georgia. I'm from East Texas. We
I
don't.
just want my dad to give me a hug, Bagger.
Okay,
He
now
keeps
that
telling
part's-
me to play
that
with the
part's
lawn
close.
darts outside and play catch with Jimmy.
All right, guys, we got to wrap it up. It's been we've been going for quite a while, 2.5 hours, and I've had a freaking ball. You are always welcome, Nick Cookies. Matt,
Hey,
we'll
thanks.
talk about you. We'll have a
Yeah,
vote.
That's understandable.
I would just
We
like to
won't-
say
We won't even
I'm
say
genuine.
bad. We
Yeah.
won't even say bad things about you, Nick. I think you're very smart, and obviously because you picked that.
Yeah, there we go.
Listen. Culture
this is
Casino.
the
Culture Casino has the best hair in all of this whole community.
Wait, is Nick more important than I realized? Like, why is he kissing his ass so much?
this shade of red lipstick
I
is
haven't
brought to you
even
by
talked to
ass
him,
kissing
really not.
when you just
He
can't
kisses
get
a
your
lot of
nose
ass.
up there far enough.
I should like
talk very
reevaluate the way.
flowery about all of you. Why can't I? Wow.
I love it when he kisses my ass. I feel the tickle of his beard. It's so nice.
And that
Culture's
one
is
lip.
trying to love you, and you won't let him. Right, Culture?
I am very, very nice to everybody.
Oh, Jade got into it.
What is that?
Hold on. Hold on.
That lip is stunning and brave.
Look at that lip.
I like it when it tickles my
blurry for anyone
taint.
else?
It's very nice.
It sounds like a rat is trying to eat me.
That
I
is
like this.
that's Unilip Casino. That's what that is.
Unilip Casino.
Yeah,
Wait, can we call him Eucalyptus?
sure.
All right.
I think I have one for you though, Stephen Walton. Before we leave, this one I think you're
no,
gonna
you
love.
don't need. Yeah, you don't need to.
There you go, Stephen.
Ah,
There you go.
fuck that gayness. You told me
Those
that
eyes
the show
are for
would not
you.
be as crazily, mythically, man-meat gay as it was.
I'm a
and that's-
genie, and the only way to get your wish is by sucking on my. Okay,
Oh, dude, did y'all watch American Gods? Because
I
like,
watched
there's no
Gay.
way-
I watched some of it. I got a little frozen there.
Would that be called a
did it go?
Janinus?
this last season had the gayest episode ever on TV.
That's what. That's
Are they on
watching
3 or
it, man.
2? 2, right?
It
No.
was
They
the dumbest
canceled
episode. He
Yeah, they
literally
did
just
cancel
met
it.
this dude and then just slept with him. Like
It was so like, and then the peen is just swinging into the
No.
camera over and over again. I'm
No.
just like,
We
why
gotta
is this
get
going
that.
on so
We
long?
get that
That's
clip for
stupid.
For
Walton
you?
and just keep sending
I mean,
it to
you're
him.
asking for it.
Sure.
Even I'm the one with the wife and children. You are a single man that might want to look at dick.
Wait.
I don't know.
Wait, can we have the American Gods penis fight the what was the Amazon
Which one?
series? With the killer dick. There was what's it? The Amazon series that went woke second season.
Oh, the boys.
The boys. You need the
Oh,
boys'
the killer
penis
dick.
fight the American Gods penis and see
Right.
which one comes out on top.
But what's one from American Gods? There's a lot of peen.
Well, he can pick and choose. They have to be divisive, you know. Just pick one and go with it.
All right.
Culture, is that a Raylo tree?
No,
Oh.
it's your favorite tree.
It's the clitoris tree.
What is it?
It's got
It's a
blue
Raylo
butterflies.
Steven's favorite tree.
It's a red clitus.
Oh, I
Rainbow
thought
tree.
those,
There's not even stains on it. What are you
those are
talking
really
about?
rare though.
I'm
there
more
is
of a fan of
disappointment.
koalas in the rain. I'm not a fan of the trees in the rain thing. I'm more of a
Yeah.
fan of the original. More of an OG kind of
Walnuts
guy.
in the rain.
I did that during a stream. I actually created that in the midst of a live
He
stream.
took the time to
Well,
be an
they-
asshole like that and avoided his responsibilities on the stream. Thank
Hey,
you.
No,
Walton,
I
newsflash.
still-
We're all
I
assholes.
still delivered on that stream. I just
Yeah,
have to say that.
culture is genuine and powerful. I will have to say
Thank
that
you.
about him.
He is stunning and shaved. No lie.
That's true. Hardwood floors. No lie.
There you go.
That's what
All
he
right.
calls his ass cheeks. Hardwood and floors.
So let me ask you a question real quick. How many people really care? Who wants to do an outro? I'll give you an outro. Who needs one? Mad needs one because we got to get him up there. Let's go.
We do.
Yeah, he needs to get up. Yeah, just once in his life.
Help
It's
him get
got to
up.
lift
Help him get
up.
up.
It's got to get hard. We
I mean,
want you to get
I do.
hard.
I do.
Longevity.
He
I got
This
you.
isn't
Hockey,
uncomfortable
no
at all, guys.
Let's-
This isn't
let's-
uncomfortable at all.
Let's get him up
Thrust
there.
in, thrust it to
Come on,
monetization.
you can do it, man.
Hey, if you would
we
like,
need to enlarge his
We
channel.
won't let you
Enlarge
speak.
it.
Really.
More.
We
Lots
have
of
to
girth.
enlarge
if
the
you would like,
More.
okay. Hey, if you would like to be erect as well, you can sub to Mad Barber Entertainment. We make stuff.
Make awesome.
That was a
stuff.
strong
Wow.
finish.
Now I
That
see
was
why you have 235 subs. Okay.
happy ending.
Way to
I
sell it.
subbed twice and then unsubbed.
And then we need
We do make
we need
stuff.
Makini. What's your outro?
So, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are. My name is Maki 90 Arsenal Story. We thank you for letting me come on and, speak my piece. I know I want to apologize to Jayne, to pretty much everybody on the panel if I interrupted. That was on me. I'm sorry about that. I guess
Makini, you're on my channel. I interrupt everybody. Shut up and go on, brother. We love you.
Anyway,
Hold
so
me.
I got a so tomorrow is the Sunday Culture Review where they got of course the great Mary Mayhem and what's the name of it? Me and
What's the
Summers.
name of
I
the
hope
great
to be on there. I hope to be on there.
That's
I hope
your
the
name.
Culture will let me.
The unforgettable.
But right after or right in between is my stream Makini Live, which will be at 12:30. Tomorrow we are doing a Fortnite sketch challenge stream. Again, it's going to be me, Mads Mama Bear, Stunning and Brave Megatron, and of course a returning guest. If I share my screen one more time, my buddy Stephen met him, Northern Jeremiah, who does his own brand of spicy art too. So come check that out. We're all going to be having some fun. Of course, Amanda
drop
Williams
by.
going to be joining us tomorrow, and of course we have
Drop a
Bruce
deuce.
Bardo and Dastardly. So on top of that, I am considering moving. I'm considering going back to adding Makini Live on Wednesdays, so I'm considering doing at least 3 streams a week now.
Nice.
Starting next week. So 3 draw streams, Maki Live on Wednesday, then Maki in the morning, whatever day that is, and then Makini Live on Sunday. Of course, I still have the Fortnite art. I still have the Fortnite skin art poll that I need to make a video of this weekend, or that I need to get started on actually, and make a video of as well. So yeah, plenty of content. I'm stuck at 523. I've been switching. Steven keeps asking me, where are you? I'm like, I'm between 525 and 523. If you guys could just push me over there so I don't get stuck. I'm trying to get some momentum. I'm trying to build my momentum and going and really push that 600.
Do you limit your guests to only people that draw? Because I think it'd be even better if you just had somebody doing stick figures.
No, like I said, I have
Legos.
Amanda Gilliam on, and I have Bruce Lombardo and Matt M. Dashley. They don't draw either. So
Yeah, Bruce does amazing painting of 40K figures and stuff. Dude it's ridiculous at that. And Amanda's just plain awesome. And M. Dastardly needs to make more videos.
Yes. And I promised, I told Fat Steven that yes, probably by the next piece I do, I may start playing Fortnite.
Ooh.
Yeah, we're getting him into the team because lately we're having actually Amanda Ords jumps in once in a while. I have other people from my community actually coming in. We flip flop between that and Outriders.
I got
So it's
Fortnite on my computer. I just don't know how to use it yet.
Oh god, I'm not going to teach you how to use your controller. That's going to suck.
It's so much fun.
What you guys should do is have the Sporking News podcast versus Rogue Entertainment Fortnite night.
Ooh.
Also, I did on the last
Pretty much everybody's the same though.
Last Sunday's Fortnite sketch stream. I did a sketch of one skin that Jayne requested actually. So.
Nice. All right. Thank you, Makini. I love you, brother. Anybody else? Nick, thank you for being here, man. I actually added you to one of my DMs. I slid you right up in there because I like having you on. So you're welcome anytime, man.
I am honored. Subscribe to Nerd Cookie Arcade. That's the only thing I have to plug. So subscribe to Elaine's gaming channel.
That's awesome.
That could use some love. She loves doing that, so it's great.
All right, we will do that. How about you, Jayne?
By the way, Nick, I would never say anything to dislodge anything other than say Elaine's awesome.
Yeah,
dislodge.
He's hitting on your wife.
Mean.
I'm not hitting.
Awesome.
The boss. Okay, so
maybe that's the type of kink you're into. I don't know.
What the hell?
Listen, for 2 seconds.
Dislodge mean?
In 1 week. In 1 week, the ridiculous number of years that I've been with the boss will be celebrated.
75.
Is that silver anniversary?
Are you guys getting silver dollars with your names on it or something?
Happy anniversary, Culture.
I don't even know how that's possible because she's so young looking and beautiful.
I know.
You look so old.
You let her out of the basement at least twice a day, right?
Oh, here it comes.
Don't take off the glasses.
Here it comes. Dad face.
I don't like it. Put the glasses back on.
Actually, he looks sexy with the glasses off. He actually has like manly, like I'm going to turn to a Hulk look.
Have you seen
look, now he's blushing. Look, he's blushing now.
We let Dad finish. Dad, what were you saying?
Nothing. I love all of you independent creators except for Steven. And mostly.
It's okay. Walton will get over it.
I really appreciate everybody. Gosh, you sons of bitches.
What?
I really appreciate everybody here, even the people in the chat who are mean to me right now. I'm very thankful that you're all here and supporting everybody here because not only are these people great creators, but they're my friends, and I'm very glad to have them. So
thanks, buddy. Thank you.
What does this have to do with your anniversary?
Nothing. Let's go on.
Fucking Jesus.
Fat Steven.
I was trying to do an anniversary thing, and then you guys kicked me in the sack.
Happy anniversary. Oh, don't talk about sacks.
Just because they're lonely, don't let them get you down, Culture.
All right. Let's leave Culture because honestly, the man does a lot of background work and does a lot of intros, a lot of content, and he keeps people not only up to date, but keeps them having stuff available so they don't lose subscribers. Yeah, I'm gonna kiss his ass because I can.
He's on my channel twice a week.
Get more subscribers.
He's never made an intro or an outro. You gotta ask. Presses play. That's all.
Maybe because he keeps bringing up that football player and you get confused. Maybe that's why. But yeah, I am Fat Steven. I do gaming in the morning. I co-host the lunch table at the lovely Lorena Creole. I also help out Loki's Mornings and Mischief with the Comic Book Roundtable on Tuesdays. I work a lot with Pop Culture Minefield on Mondays and Wednesdays and Fridays. Other than that, you can find me with AGP, Dozzies, or OrdsBoards on Fridays and Sundays as well. Let's get with I'm everywhere with everyone. That's pretty much it. I'm like the dirty hooker.
You're a whore. Right.
Yeah, you're a tree. Sub to my channel. I am literally 249 away from getting monetized. Thank you.
What? Nice, man. Thank you.
Nice, man. Good for you,
It's
brother.
really hard making 700 different email accounts. It's really hard.
Jayne Theory. You like to talk about anything, Jayne Theory?
Yeah, you can find me on YouTube. I post movie and television reviews and some pop culture commentary. You can also follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and Instagram at Jayne Theory.
Thank you, Jayne. I love having you here. I really appreciate you stopping in and anytime. You're always welcome. Unlike this guy who
dick
fucks trees.
Who passed away on the Eagles? Like who died?
That tree looks like a lady.
Thank you guys for coming to the chat tonight. Thank you for supporting both shows, Rogue Entertainment, Sporking Podcast.
Talk about Rogue.
Yeah, it wasn't even there.
Yeah. Thank you guys so much for being there. Thank you for supporting all these wonderful channels. Please remember, support independent creators. Put out links for YouTube channels like some of us that are not monetized on this panel. Please subscribe, share out those links. Let's get everybody to monetization. We rise together. Also support your independent creators out there that are making comics, that are making books. Share out links for them because we don't have an industry to support us. We only have each other.
Beard?
And we rise together, and every book sold is a middle finger to the industry. And fuck the industry. So thank you for supporting us, and just be good to each other. Don't listen to these dicks.
No, seriously, you have something in your mustache, bro. I'm not kidding. On your left-hand side, that's your beard, not your mustache.
He looks like a local Eagles broadcaster
Yeah, he's like,
thank you, bro.
Hey guys,
Yeah.
don't forget
like
Jayne
for
has
high
a
school.
Discord. Jayne has a Discord. Jayne. Yay, Jayne. All right. Thank you everybody for coming out tonight. We had a great time. I'd like to thank my members. Yes.
Don't forget, please help support Red River Rebuild.
Yes.
Ashton
Yes.
Mills' GoFundMe, please.
Yes. Thank you so much for saying that. We have it in the chat. Make sure you guys, if you can't, just share out the link to her GoFundMe. Good people get hard times. We're all going through it. But we could try to help one another best we can. But God bless y'all. Thank you for coming out. We had a great time. Thank you to my members, guys. Without you guys, I wouldn't have the equipment I have now. And I thank you so much for that. Tina, Bojan, Toxic Man Flu, Who Knew, Jake D, everybody who is a member of my channel. I'm going to try to do a members probably on a Saturday afternoon, a members.
Hey, by the way, so my members stream is tomorrow. Just so you know.
Sorry, I didn't mean to mute you. Yeah, so guys, we'll try to do that maybe next week. Everybody loves Cuddles Casino because he's cuddly and he has one lip, and we love him for that. And this is for Nerd Cookies.
It is a reminder. I've been here when it was glory hole days, and I've been here when it wasn't. And so, having said that, I want me some glory hole.
You let Jayne's Discord up there. You'd like during that whole thing.
Yeah.
It is a reminder. I've been here when it was glory hole days, and I've been here when it wasn't. And so, having said that,
does this look infected?
Glory hole.
That doesn't erase what you did before.
So go to Jayne's Discord for Glory Hole. That's what I get out of that.
God, that tummy.
Like that.
Jayne's Discord, Glory Hole. Got it.
Yep.
It's
Got
glory
it.
hole.
Jayne's glory. Jayne's.
James what? James what? James.
Yo, you can't undo that, bro.
He just said dick. She said Jane's dick. That's what he said. Jane was tuned into Jane's dick cord.
Oh, did I say that? I thought I said.
Wash your hands, wash your ass, wash your mouth.
Good night,
wash your
everybody.
tree.
Oh God! Don't fuck a tree, please. Don't do it.
No, fuck a shrub, but they need love too.
Good night, everybody.
Hate yourself.